It's time.
We're all very somber.
Come on and slam. It's time to jam. Come on and slam. And welcome to... Anyways, what's up? We got some stuff. Nope. We have a Tiltify page where we raise money for Color of Change. Still working on figuring out Linktree stuff. Well, not non-Linktree stuff. Because all the other alternatives kind of suck. Yeah. No Thursday night game tomorrow, because people is away. A lot of people is away. And, also, fuck y'all, I'm going to see a movie. What else? Sunday stuff. Sunday's thing.
Yeah. We'll see what happens, because Justin wasn't there on this last Sunday, so the party went shopping, which has actually kind of worked out, because Justin doesn't like shopping episodes.
No, I don't.
So they got to have their shopping episode, and then you'll come back on Sunday, and then Justin's character is going to get to talk to his mom for the first time in a while.
Yay. Yay. I'm sure that'll go great.
I can actually tell you it will, because they were out the whole day, which means that Monty has to have the whole day to talk to his mom uninterrupted.
Wonderful. Excellent. Perfect. Anybody else got anything? Kate?
Hey, I'm Kate, and I have an Etsy. I have 2 Etsys. You should check them out. Support a small artist. I don't have a lot. There's these stickers that are slightly different than this one, because this one kind of reads as DOM from a distance. So there's a slightly redesigned version of that one, and all the other classes in D&D. Or you could check out Kate Craft Studio US on Etsy for some cute little crochet goodies, like this little kitty cat weighted plushie. Thumb. Thank you. Back to you, Justin.
Excellent. So, last we left off, the party left Anundiel City to look for Quoin, who was kidnapped. Druck, Naruto's Flash, basically the Flash, speedster ran in front of the group. And long story short, after some travel, arrived at the campsite that Druck could see details of said campsite without having to roll perception checks, because 27 passive perception. And just found everything that was hidden very well. Found the campsite.
Except for that one dude.
Yeah. Found the campsite, hung out for a bit, set off an alarm, hung out a bit for some more. Rest of the group eventually showed up like 5 hours later. Planning on being stealthy, someone turned into a horse and whinnied. And then thus began the encounter. Quoin dropped some knees and some elbows on people. Flitz flew around. Nobody could find Druck, basically. Ven crushed a dwarf to death with Bigby's hand. It was all good fun. Quoin, and then eventually culminated in Quoin killing the mouth with a knee to the face. The bodies were looted. Quoin found some letters. The head of the mouth was decapitated, removed. Letters mentioned something about blah blah blah. We don't kill people. You're in trouble. Come to Redbrook to talk to the leader of this thieves guild. Blah blah blah. And then mentioned, oh, I have insurances in place should I die, that the entire Anundiel City basically will blow up if I die. Ha 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 ha. Party left to go investigate these claims in Anundiel City. Spent a couple hours on the road, realized they were getting exhaustion levels. Minus some of them. I don't remember who. And decided after a few hours to say, okay, we're going to sleep now instead. So I begin setting up the tower in the middle of the road. And that's where we're picking up.
I'm going straight to bed because I have 2 levels of exhaustion.
Okay.
Am I able to sleep again?
Nope,
No. Okay.
because you slept on the back of the magic carpet.
Right. Because what time is it now?
Yeah, it hasn't been 24 hours yet. It's 12:30 p.m.
It just have to be.
You slept at like
Oh, it's like noon.
You slept at like
Yeah.
8 or 9.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So it's like it's been half a day. All right. Well, guess I'll keep watch. Oh, I can while they're sleeping, I can start
Yeah.
copying spells.
So
I also, at some point, would love several days of downtime because I need to read that book I've had for like 10 sessions now, but we have not had two minutes of time.
Only 2 days have passed in those.
I know.
10,
It's like
7
I got this
seconds.
book
Yep.
that I need 48 hours straight to. It's like read the book with like you spend 48 hours reading it over the course of 6 days, and it was like 48 hours hasn't transpired yet since I got
Nope.
it, but it's been like 10 sessions.
Yep.
I think we may be playing these sessions in real time.
I have a note. I have notes of how many sessions were over the span of a day, and it was about 8. It's pretty. It was a
Yeah.
lot. It was a lot.
It is actually like 24
Yeah.
hours worth
It
of
was.
play time.
Yeah. All right. So who's all taking a long rest?
I'm unattuning to the tentacle rod first, and then attuning to the Titan's Tooth Claymore, which gives me enough time to sleep fully.
Yep. You have to 2 hours. At least you can get at least 2 hours of downtime for a long rest, and then 6 hours of sleep. Cool.
I think I'm probably since I don't think Quoin can sleep, right? Because I was
Correct.
knocked
You don't
out
need a
for all
long
that.
rest because you were knocked out for like 14 hours straight.
Then I'm going to. Well, I guess yeah. I mean, I need it to get my spells back, but I'm just going to use 2 bonus actions to get 2 level 2 spells back.
All right.
And also, I'm going to attune to all my stuff that I haven't attuned to yet
Fair.
because I didn't have armor. or
Also, yeah, all the
anything.
loot that we dealt with last week, you guys can deal with behind the scenes because it's a lot to fucking go through.
Yup.
Like, headache-inducing amount of stuff that no one will find interesting to watch.
Hmm.
All right, so everyone's taking a long rest except for Quoin and Ven.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Flitz is gonna put his bottle down. Flitz doesn't really know how the tower is situated. Is it like
middle of the road?
Yeah.
And it'd be its full height, like 30 feet, I think.
It's not an extra dimensional space though. It is like straight up just a big
like
ass
a
tower.
roof.
Yes.
Yeah,
There's a
with
trapdoor up
with
the
a
roof.
hatch in the ceiling.
Perfect. Flitz is gonna go there, and he's
Okay.
gonna set his.
Oh, that reminds me. I need somebody to roll me a D8 for today's weather.
Oh, okay. This might determine how Flitz does it.
That's what I
got
do
you.
on the road.
That is a 6.
Okay. I don't remember where I did my weather stuff in. I don't remember what book I used. Dungeon Master's Guide makes more sense than the Player's Handbook.
PH.
Unless somebody else wants to pick what the weather
In the
is today,
game.
well,
In the
until I
game.
find everything.
Uh,
You don't get to pick what the weather is.
it's the perfect date, April 25th.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say it's very rainy to help put out those fires that we heard about.
Yeah, so it might be rainy. I got.
It's
I
October
can't remember.
3rd.
I can't. Here we go. Weather. Oh, sorry. Sorry. I need 3 D20 rolls
I'll do one.
by the
I'll
people
do
who are
another.
sleeping because it's not going to affect them in any way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Alright.
sleeping.
All right. Drop D20. Can a D20.
Dax.
Dax.
Oh,
D20.
Flitz.
Hey, y'all roll that.
10. Okay. Today's temperature is 40 degrees colder than. Oh wait, hold on. Normal for the season.
Okay.
Celsius or Fahrenheit?
No, it's normal.
Okay.
It's considered. You rolled a 10, so it's considered normal for the season, and it's early
Oh, okay.
spring. So you're looking at like 11 degrees Celsius, which would be about
Oh, that's pretty nice. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Probably like a nice 60.
51 Fahrenheit.
Oh, I was like,
Early spring,
That's a little chilly.
so still
That's a little-
frost, but yeah,
Yeah.
nothing's like it's not like unbearable.
No snow, shorts weather.
All right, Kate, give me the wind for today. Roll a d20.
I rolled a 20.
So that's a strong wind today.
Will
See.
ranged attacks be at disadvantage?
As for strong wind, yes,
Okay.
and perception checks that rely on hearing.
Okay.
Actually, let me double check. A strong wind imposes disadvantage on ranged weapon attacks and perception checks on hearing. It also extinguishes open flames, disperses fog, and makes flying by non-magical means impossible. Nearly impossible.
Is this weather nationwide or close
Just
to
in this
nationwide?
region.
Okay.
It's on your side, Caleb.
Well, I guess you'll have to find. I guess who knows. And then for precipitation, that's I guess Dax D20.
I rolled a 5.
No precipitation. It's just really windy. So Flitz, you open up the trap door and it's just like.
Oh, it is a sign.
And because you open the
That
trap door,
is
the
a
wind would
sign.
it kind of would like come into the tower and just like blow everything around.
He'll like hurriedly like clamber out, like excited. He'll close the trap door, and he'll just kind of like let the wind whip around him, and he's gonna open up his bottle, and he's gonna kind of situate it.
It's like you know how when you like blow over a bottle and it's just like ooh, it's this constant just ooh.
He's living for it. He's gonna kind of tuck it into like a corner so it doesn't get blown over or anything like that. He's gonna rub his hands together, and he's gonna clap once, and whenever he claps, it expands out, and he just kind of like cannonballs into the mouth of the ceramic bottle,
All right.
and the cork automatically.
Oh, while you're up here,
Closes. Okay.
you see a little drawing on the top of the tower,
Okay, I would investigate the drawing because that is curious.
like a little painting of a penis on top of the tower.
Yeah, it's still there.
All right.
It's
Sure.
real flaccid. It's like a real flaccid chode. It's a real flaccid chode.
Flitz was curious, and now it's just like, well, okay, all right. I've known these people for 2 days, so sure. And then he will skadoodle bop.
Yeah, 2 days
into his,
exactly. Yeah.
into his bottle for 8 hours.
All
Is
right.
it some kind of hanging mushroom? Oh no.
Oh no! Just to look at it in weird
All right.
ways.
So those who are conscious can do what they want to do. So Ven is staying up for 8 hours.
Mhm.
Then okay. Cool
Well,
beans.
Quoin's gonna set up that the prayer kneeler in the corner. Probably pray
Okay.
for a couple hours
Does-
after I attune all that stuff.
Okay. Does Ven remember
Kinda.
that he has teleportation circle and knows how to get to the capital with it?
I would if it was prepared,
Oh, cool. All right.
and if I was able to take a rest, I'd prepare it.
You did on the back of
It's
the
too soon
carpet.
Well, yeah, but I didn't prep it.
Oh,
I
fair
specifically
enough.
did adjust my spells then to include like, what did I pick instead? I switched over. I knew we were going into combat, so I took
Fair enough.
Raised Dead and Bigby's Hand
Fair
instead.
enough. All right. Those of you sleeping have nice dreams. Kenna, you have a weird dream.
That's a great start. Love to hear it.
Yeah, just looking at my notes here.
It's a salmonella dream.
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
food poisoning
Yeah,
dream,
it's-
the worst
yeah, it's-
kind.
There were some not graded boots at the festival the other
There
day.
definitely wasn't, because that was not a thing in this. Anyways, you see this like snow-capped settlement. A lot of like buildings hewn from pine, surrounded by pine forests, and everything's lit up by like colorful lights. And it looks like this place celebrates the holiday of Wynocton year-round. And you would recognize the settlement of Hollyshire. The dream is you just see this massive manor house, 3-story manor house, and it's just being just hit by this torrential blizzard. Everybody wakes up who was sleeping, getting the benefits of a long rest. I need Ken to roll percentile dice, though.
96.
Damn it. Alright.
It's for the Cathadium crystal.
You all wake up at 8:30 p.m.
You may now apply the Cathadium crystal as deodorant.
And anyone who's doing anything during those 8 hours, like Ven's book stuff, you can mark off 8 hours if you were doing some of that. As well as any oh no, you'd have to focus on doing that the whole time. Alright. Cool.
Can I roll for? I guess no. I'm asking for rolls now. That's not cool. So I guess I'm just saying I probably would have spent time meditating, trying to see if I could reach out to Bahamut.
All right. No answer.
Great.
I believe that. Oh yeah, the tower lesson definitely doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Upon waking, Druck will realize that his pack that he's been using as a pillow is a bit softer than usual, and then he'll remember, Quoin. In your absence, I got something for you. It's about as... No, it's quite bigger than you are, but... and I will hold on to it, because it might be cumbersome. Here, I'll just... And he pulls out this big, huge Bahamut plushie that he won at the carnival. It's 6 foot tall.
Yeah, it's big.
Thank you, Druck, for getting me this absolutely humongous soft. This is the size of a bed for me. This is a tremendous gift. Thank you. I do not know what to say.
You don't have to say anything. Just do your chest thing, because it was just taking up a lot of space in my bag. But
yeah,
it's good to have you back, and consider this a welcoming back present.
Yeah, it seems. Where did you get such a nice gift? Was there a shop, or?
I won it at an archery contest.
Oh, did I miss the whole festival?
Yes.
Well, I guess you'll all have to wonder what it was like to win second, or what would have been.
I don't doubt it. As consolation, though, please take this.
Yes, I will take this. And thank you. I've been doing a lot of meditating, and I want to say thank you to all of you for not abandoning me to live in a bag. That would have been boring and dumb. Both of those things at the same time. So thank you for not allowing them to abscond with my physical body.
What do you think they would have done with you? It might be a morbid question at this point, but they clearly didn't want to kill you, at least at that moment, unless they were aiming to make an example of you.
I had never seen them come back with a bagged and gagged a person that they had taken out of the city. So I don't think I would have been coming back from wherever they were taking me.
Either slavery or death.
Yes, or maybe sold me into slavery, or maybe had me, indentured servitude, which is just slavery with more steps.
Right, best not to think about it. Just eat up. It's good to have you back, regardless.
Yeah, it is good to be back. I'm ready to beat down a stable boy, is what I'm ready to do.
Looking at your map, you would also notice you have about 10 hours left on foot to get to Anundiel City. You traveled about 4 hours. You got 10 left to go.
Oh, that means
folks.
it will take a whole nother day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Day and some, yeah.
Unless we all go at a
Unless-
fast pace.
But then,
With-
if you don't stop, it's going to be back to rolling for exhaustion checks again. Possibly.
But we
what's the-
can double our speed though if we just go at a fast pace and then
Depends how you do it.
we get there in 5 hours instead.
Yeah, because didn't we
But
make
our
it
Perception checks would just be low.
the original one? We made it in like 6, right?
Yeah, because you all ran the entire way and
Okay.
road stuff, which I'm surprised there isn't fucking rules for exhaustion for just running the entire way. But there isn't. It's just if you
Yeah,
travel 8
especially-
hours or more. It's so dumb.
Yeah, which you travel more distance in
Yeah, and you're
less
running.
time, so you can go twice as far
And
if you
you're
run.
Running, and it's like, oh
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
there's no
Like,
exhaustion rules for
the
that. It's just
biggest
disadvantage on
danger-
perception checks.
Yeah, that is a huge danger though. So
Yeah. It's the Gimli, Legolas, and Aragorn. Let's hunt some orcs running.
yeah.
They did that shit for like 3 days.
Regardless,
All this running is wasted on me.
just letting you know, you
Alright,
still got a
so-
decent amount.
We need to get back fast, yes, so we'll be running the rest
Yeah,
of
you've
the
got
way. Yes.
23 miles
Gang.
left to go.
I apologize, everyone, for not thinking ahead. I was so focused on the act of getting Quoin back that I didn't prepare something to get us back quicker.
None of us could anticipate it. There would be a dead man's switch.
Yes, I would invite you to stuff those sorries right into a sack and kick them into the ocean, as it is fast and unfathomable, much like your sorries should be. Do not dwell on them, because how could we calculate that I almost lived in a bag?
Well, we knew we were
Back.
coming. We knew we were traveling quite a distance to come and get you, so I should have. I should, now that I have it, be more prepared with teleportation circle. But I was primarily focused on making sure that I would be able to kill anyone that had taken you and bring back anyone who died in the effort.
Yeah, you had it got pretty dark there, didn't it, gang? We all got
Van, did you squish some guy?
Yes, I think I did.
That was. I mean, I've seen you do that to monsters, but not to a person.
Yeah, I'm still wrestling with that one. After traveling overnight to knowing that Quoin had been kidnapped and finding him in a bag with the person who had nearly killed Kenna, I was a little overzealous.
I mean, it doesn't. I only bring it up because I know that it can be viewed differently by others. I mean, if you kill something, you kill something. How you kill it becomes a grayscale. But anyway.
I thought it was pretty cool then, I will say. I've never seen that. I didn't think I could ever see that. That was some magic. That, oh, as Druck would say, that book magic.
Well, I did see that. I saw it happen to like a rock elemental.
I know no one else was in that hallway when it happened.
Yeah,
Yes.
And also, what killed it actually was the falling damage for the earth
Yeah.
elemental.
But
Yeah.
I saw the crushing happening and everything. But it was the screams that kind of got me. From the muffled screams when you squished him that kind of did it.
Yeah,
But everything gets heated. We are all aware of this. I just wanted to make sure you were all right, Van. That was odd.
I did get a little carried away. I wanted to make sure I was holding him and keeping him away from anyone else who we could have hurt, but I thought I had a bit more time before it would squish him completely.
I mean, you have so much more to gauge than me. I just point and pull the trigger. So.
We'll have to learn how to do that one gently.
Quoin?
Yes.
Like you said, it may have gotten dark, but Dax is gonna like walk over to Quoin and put a hand like on your head. But you are a lighthouse.
That is true. I am. Yeah, I feel. First off, sick joke. Secondly, I feel as though I could use a lighthouse myself. For I fear that I'm losing a little bit of connection with Bahamut. But I feel like that's not any. You guys shouldn't worry about that. That's a Quoin issue, not a Faust and Furious issue.
Hey, Quoin.
Mm-hmm.
We all need somebody to lean on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, a dragon swoops out of the sky. That's very unfortunate. It takes
Trash
away.
dragon.
I didn't even sing it. What the fuck?
Quoin,
Druck?
I only know what religion looks like as a passing observer. But it seems as though most require or have a temple of sorts. Perhaps, if we find some time, we can perhaps create a temple for Bahamut. Yes, is that something that sounds right? I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't. That's only something Is that what is? I've seen temples, but they seem to have been taken down. Yes.
Yeah, I think first I would try to reestablish temples that had been torn down. And also, speaking of lighthouses, I'm pretty sure that lighthouse that had all the other kobolds in it, I'm pretty sure that's now a temple of Bahamut. So I think we have swayed. We are starting to put balance back in favor of Bahamut. Speaking of a very specific, yet sort of vague balance, Kenna. Now, I just want to be very clear. I would never, I would never ask, specifically for you to manipulate a soul using necromancy.
Hey, Quoin, do you want me to use Speak with Dead on that guy?
I would never ask that.
I'll do it for you. I'll do it as like
I would not.
out of my own free will for the benefit of the group. I'll do it.
I would never ask that, nor would I.
I'm not saying you did.
I certainly didn't.
You didn't not ask.
No, I didn't not, but I didn't either. Some of us danced in hypotheticals.
Both of you are giving me a headache.
I'm gonna cast Speak with Dead.
While you're walking, is this a walk and talk, by the way, or is this
Of
you
course,
still like
yeah.
sitting in the tower?
Yeah, this is a stroll and roll.
Okay, so you're gonna cast Speak with Dead while walking on the head.
Yeah.
Okay, you do.
Hey,
Just so you know,
Quoin.
the spell does not compel the corpse to tell the truth or to
Yeah.
answer any questions. Okay,
Hey, Quoin. If I
especially if it
were,
regards you as an enemy.
yeah, if I were
Just
to,
Just own the spell.
Oh, that'll be
if I
fun.
were to do this thing
Mm-hmm.
as a friend,
Mm-hmm.
what would you, as my friend, like to know if I were to cast a spell on this specific creature?
Just
It's also still very windy.
I would.
Like I'm
you know,
shouting this to Quoin.
I would want to know.
What?
I would want to know all sorts of mouth stuff.
Want to do what with mouth stuff?
I said I'd want to know mouth stuff. I'd want to know mouth stuff.
I know mouth stuff.
Coin, if you really want to, I'm sure we can find you someone once we get back to the city.
What? I would want to know. I mean, why build a tunnel under the Temple of Bahamut? Why try and kill me? Why kill Yodelin? Why they beefing? That's what I'd like to know.
And why?
Yeah, why?
What were they gonna do with you as well?
Yeah, what is the end game? Where's? I mean, just truly a lot of why questions, and what good is killing a devotee to a religion that you are not trying to beef with?
Coin, can I ask you?
Yes,
Can I ask you a
please.
question?
You've got to, yeah.
It's about a painful time in your life, so I want to just make sure you're comfortable talking about it.
I mean, you've now put me a little in defense, but okay.
I wanted to ask about when Yodelin was killed.
Okay.
Did this group already have some sort of influence over you, or had they previously?
Oh, that is yeah, kinda. I feel like maybe if you'd like to know, I should just lay it out. I was, as far as I know, the only place I've ever known is Anundiel City. As far as that's where I was born. Everything I had to receive, I had stolen from the time I was born. I was the most attractive thing about that gang is that they would have at least given me a name, as me and the other recruits. We none of us had a given name, and it was nice to be a part of something. To be a part of what they claimed was a family. This big red flag. That was what they had, and they had asked me to use. So did you hear that they called me the Reach? They called me the Wingspan because of because I was born special with Flitz, I believe you're the only one who has not seen me fly. Yes?
You can fly? I didn't know that.
I am ashamed of the fact that I can fly, and that is why they called me the Reach, the wingspan, because I can get to places most can't because I can fly. That is why I wear this armor. It's why I don't use my natural gifts, because they are a piece of a life I tried to walk away from. They recruited me to do a job for them, an initiation job. It was actually me and the bits and pieces of that cat person known as the Bruise, who's a real just a turd, real bad person who said he wanted to eat parts of Yadalin, which is a real dick move, in my opinion. And also a young Kenku who had unfortunately passed away, but I think also perhaps was part of my attempted assassination and the murder of Yadalin. So I guess, long story short, too late. I don't know why they held on to the grudge that they had with me, but the job went bad. I didn't get what they want, and I collapsed in the temple of Bahamut, and Yadalin defended me, and she never fully told me why she started teaching me, but she told me that when I collapsed on her doorstep, I was surrounded. I had been carrying some of the coins I was intended to steal, and there were 7 gold coins that had surrounded my body. And she said something about it being a sign, like the 7 gold birds that surround Bahamut that turn into dragons to defend him, and how it was a symbol of me becoming a great instrument for good. So again, I think I keep losing focus. You asked, did they have influence over me?
I think you've answered that as yes, as you were part of the gang and then you met Yadalin?
I never officially joined. They knew what they wanted to call me, but I ruined the job.
And then you met Yadalin.
Yes, and I started training. And the thing is, it was I had for 2 years I had purpose. I learned how to read, which is, by the way, a pretty big deal. Like, it is. Do you guys understand how hard reading is? It's like a whole thing.
I do.
Yeah, you basically just hallucinate while staring at ink on pieces of dead trees.
Yes, like you have like brain thunder, and it turns into images as you make scratch marks into like those brain thunder. Scratch marks turn into brain thunder, which turns into images as you are as you slide your eyes across, it is truly a gift of Bahamut.
Perhaps
The ability to
that's
do
why
this.
that's why it's been so difficult for me.
Do you
I don't have any brain thunder.
do you not get images when you read?
No. Reading takes a long time for me.
Well, anytime you want to read, we could read if you want to. We could read out loud. I could practice with you if you'd like, or we could, do drawings, and if that's better. I feel like I've taken so much time. Thank you all for listening. Why quit talking so much?
I
talking too much.
I think your talking has been helpful, Quoin. I think I have at least a theory as to answer your question.
So we have our questions for the mouth then, or the animated spirit.
Well, I have a thought on.
I have 3 of them written down right now.
And I do want to know what this thought is, Sven. Yes.
I think it makes so what happened? You were with them. You were with Yodelin for 2 years in the temple. You had purpose. You were happy, and then they came and killed Yodelin. Is that what happened?
It was. I have another small confession to make. I am not a knight of Bahamut.
But you fight in his name.
Yodelin was killed in my knighting ceremony. She was killed while she was giving me a name. So I fight in the name of Bahamut, and I fight with the name that was given to me. But I did not officially I officially belong to no one.
Quoin. I have seen you swing a blade and have it fill itself with holy light. I have seen you materialize a moose out of thin air. I have seen you heal wounds and diseases with a touch of your hand. Something tells me that as far as Bahamut is concerned, whether the ceremony was completed or not, Bahamut considers you his knight.
I am simply an instrument of Bahamut. Yes.
And there's a word for that.
I humbly must. I have to tell you, if you were to ask me, the strongest motivation for staying with such a strong crew is that I could revenge Yodelin and become worthy of the title of Knight of Bahamut. And I think you've all proven yourselves as worthy as anyone could to be Knights of Bahamut as well.
I also think those two desires may be at odds with each other. I do not know that you can do both.
This is why I spent most of your rest praying to Bahamut and getting no answer. This is my whole struggle. This is every single thing that I am. How do you forgive people who have stolen the very thing that made you learn what forgiveness was?
I don't know that forgiveness is necessarily the right thought. I think that anger, wrath, A desire to set right wrongs is natural, and I think necessary as a person with abilities and power like we have. I think it's the framing of it. I think it's the thought. I think it's who it's for. It's the difference between getting vengeance and seeking justice. It's the difference between, and the action, especially given how we tend to do things, the action itself can take can look exactly the same. The two can be the same act. You may need to kill these people, depending on what they've done. We have killed people before. I have grappled with the idea that killing people is necessary in our line of work.
Mm-hmm.
But the question is, do you kill them because it makes you feel better? Or do you kill them because it is necessary and it protects other people from suffering the harm and the pain that you have suffered?
I hear what you are saying, but for me it could be both. And
I understand that. And I think that is your struggle.
I feel like that is a search for balance inside of myself is perhaps the hardest part to go with.
This the thought I haven't actually had a chance to say it
Yes,
yet, but
please.
I think it may help. I think I understand from what you've told us why they killed Yodlin.
Oh, please tell me, why would anyone do this?
From what you've told me, this group, especially the group that we just encountered, the one that you were a part of, gains members from people who are so lost in the world that they have no one to turn to, and any family, including a family as horrible as the one we just killed, is better than nothing.
Yeah.
They take in the vulnerable and they take advantage of their vulnerability. You belonged to them because you had no other choice. Yodlin offered you another choice. Yodlin offered you a better life, a place to belong, purpose, happiness, a path out. And not only were they probably upset that you got out and felt some twisted sense of ownership over you, but they also were probably very upset at the idea that others within their ranks could find out that there was a path out. You were an example that showed that they could escape, that they could be free, that they didn't have to accept the life that they were in, and they needed to make sure that they snuffed out that hope for not only you, but for all of them.
So then I am the reason that she died.
No. I don't think so. They made a choice. She also made a choice. And it is, I think, I don't know Yodlin. She sounds wonderful. But I think that based on what you've told me of her, and what I know of you, and what I know of the you that I know that comes from her example, that she would happily choose her own death if it meant that you got the salvation that you got. I think if she knew that she was going to die, she would not have chosen a different outcome.
Okay. Yeah. I'll have to thank you. I will I'll think about what you've said, and if you think any of this would be useful to anyone who may or may not be using necromancy that I may or may not know about. If you think that this would be good information to move forward with trying to trick the spirit of someone that could be a real nasty boy, then I may or may not know about it, and it may or may not. I'm having really trouble with hypotheticals, but I don't want to give up them yet. So I'm going to walk I'm going to walk 30 feet away, and I trust you completely with what you may or may not do with necromancy, as it is something that I may or may not be comfortable with.
Can I make an insight check on if Quoin's really comfortable with this?
That's up to you.
I mean, I could just tell you what.
Yeah.
The pretty readable thing. Playing Koi is hard.
Yeah.
But the thing is undead and necromancy is not something that Bahamut really fucks with.
Yeah.
You're great. I don't think Quoin really would, if he were to die and get to frolic in the fields of Celestia with Bahamut forever, that's not like a fear. Like, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
He's not afraid to die, but the thing that I've been carrying that I feel terribly guilty about is that I've been calling Kenna the mouth of the party, and I have not meant that Kenna is anything like the mouth. I have more meant that Kenna represents like a good verbal representation, and all I've been thinking about is that I've been carrying just a tremendous amount of guilt on my heart that I had assigned such a wonderful person a moniker from such a turd.
Perhaps think of it instead as rehabilitating the word mouth.
Like a reclamation of
yes.
Okay, what a good spin. Yes, that is much better, but I will lovingly hug those feelings of guilt and thank them for the time they have spent with me and let them float down the river.
Would it help? Would it make you feel better if I confess something to you as well?
I mean, no pressure. I mean, Saturday thought let goes. That's all. Every Saturday at the Temple of Bahamut. You can confess your thoughts and just let them go. But yes, please hold on. Yeah, okay. Tell me what happens just between you, me, and Bahamut.
I was going to tell everyone at the festival, but we didn't have you there, so it hasn't come up yet. But I figured I'd tell you first, since we're sharing confessions. I briefly referred to this in the fight against Shidan at the very end. I didn't actually attend the Soulspire Academy.
But how did you get the cloak?
I worked at the Soulspire Academy. I was an assistant I was a non-magical assistant in the infirmary. Well, actually, somewhat magic. I had, well, mostly non-magical. I'd worked in the temple. I'd learned how to tend wounds, and so I saved a couple of people out on their sort of introductory adventure as part of their journey, as part of their education. They had been injured. I helped them. I met with their professor. We went back to the academy, and I worked there for several years, just in the infirmary. But I made friends, and those friends, one of those friends had begun teaching classes, and he was nervous about teaching students, so I was sort of a guinea pig to his teaching, and he tutored me privately. And then when he got busy, another professor picked up, and I sort of cobbled together an introductory education from friends who had spare time, but I never officially attended classes. I never officially graduated. I was never officially a student. The cloak is honorary.
So we're both fakers.
After a sense, yes.
Hey, fake it till you make it.
That is incredible.
Although, I don't think I've ever said I actually graduated. I've said I worked at the academy, or that I came from the academy, which are both true.
You know, you'd make an excellent. I hate to even say it, but you'd make an excellent Tiamat's advocate.
Well,
whenever they have big councils to determine the doctrine of Bahamut, there's always someone who has to be a Tiamat's advocate to, just fully hash out the argument. You'd be an excellent one.
thank you. Anyway, the festival, and then we'll
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Kind of what you doing?
What are these questions we're going to ask?
I
Also-
mean,
Before we get to that, because Flitz hasn't said anything in a hot minute. Flitz, are you doing anything specific?
Nope. Flitz is a little. He's wanted to breach a little bit of some topics, but
Okay.
he again has only known these people for 2 days.
Yeah. Okay. And
It's
is Dax
almost
doing-
like unadulterated
Yeah.
comments of
Okay.
like, who the fuck is this dude? So he's like,
Okay. And is Dax doing anything during this whole thing?
Dax is just chilling with Flitz, trying to make seeing that Ven is keeping Quoin occupied and doesn't need any other people. Dax is trying to make Flitz just feel a little less awkward, just chilling with him.
Okay. Cool. All right.
So I start casting Speak with Dead on the mouth,
On the head.
on the head, the mouth's head. And I just open specifically because Caleb mentioned this. So mouth to mouth. Why did you build a base under the abandoned Temple of Bahamut? I got a few other questions for you, but we'll start with that one. It's an
Okay.
easy one.
The mouth, the eyes open, and the mouth's mouth kind of opens, all like slack jawed, the tongue kind of hanging out. It was given.
Who gave it to your group?
Given to me by Archpriest.
The Archpriest of Bahamut?
Just
Hey.
laughs. Ha ha ha. No.
I still have the two other questions that I wrote down.
I have a question too, Kenna, if I may.
Well, you should have said something, Druck. It's fine.
Also, the head's really hard to hear in the wind because it's speaking quietly. So it's just like you're like
Like a seashell.
holding up to like a
Yeah.
shell.
Druck Dust like comes up behind me. What the fuck? Yeah, go ahead.
Wait. Are you good?
You can get one question. I just got one more that I have to ask. I had like two gimmies. I had like two freebies. Go ahead.
This one is just to hopefully put in quantities. Who killed Yarlin?
I did.
It's done. Alright. That's it. Just wanted to make sure. Thank you, Kenna.
No problem.
No, it was Quoin. Doesn't say that. Yeah, one question left.
One more. What were you gonna do with Quoin once you got him to what's the guy's name? The Heart?
Yeah.
The Heart. What were you gonna do with Quoin after you brought him to the Heart?
Prayed his own thirst for vengeance backfired on him.
Alright.
That's your last question.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That was surprisingly useful information. If any of it is true.
I think he was surprisingly more honest than we anticipated. Seemed like he was trying to goad us into following up.
It's impossible to tell.
Hey, Quoin! You're good.
Yeah, so you said there's a whole menagerie of fried foods.
Yes, there was also a whole hand food based booth called Handies, and we're going back.
Oh yes, handies. Oh. And was anyone double fausting these desserts?
Dax was more like pentuple fausting. Most, I think Dax got was it Handies? Dax was
it
it
was
Handies
Handies.
where you got one of everything?
Yes, Ben, I got one of everything, and it was worth every coin I paid.
Flitz, did you enjoy any festival foods? That is what I'd mainly been asking about.
Yes, oh gosh. Just some vegetables. It was simple vegetables. Some desserts like the others, but other than that, no, it was just. Oh, I won these. And he's gonna hold out or I bought these actually. He's gonna hold out the opal oyster shells. I have never played Oyster Bowl before, and this very. He said he was good, but we kind of all fucked him up.
Yeah,
But,
we creamed him.
Yeah, I bought these from him. For
Wow.
yes. Do you want one?
Of your oyster bowl set?
Sure.
That is incredibly generous. I wouldn't want to break up the set. That is incredible. I wouldn't even know what to say. That is your set of oyster bowl. You had won it. You just said.
Well, it's if you get your own set, you can swap one out and put one of these in it, and then you can remember me by it.
Yeah, I will. I as soon as I buy a set, I would absolutely trade you.
Oh.
So you could have a piece to remember me by as well. That
Trying to
is
think
it is
who else I
incredibly
would be going
kind.
to. Yes, well, you were very kind to me when we first met, so yeah, and thank you for that, by the way.
Of course. You came to free me from my possible bag life.
Yes, I understand. Oh yes. You were
Probably
missed.
wouldn't
What is Druck? You had
Hmm?
No. This was
Caught in the wind?
This is me being meta.
A fly in your throat?
I was essentially gonna joke about Flitz and his bottle life.
Oh, that's true. He gets an 8-hour bottle life.
Yes.
I will say this: I don't have much to offer in the way of consoling you in any way. I don't know much about you and your group. It seems like a lot of things that the hard-hitting issues that you and your group have dealt with Druck and his ilk, and Dax and their family, and well, I think Ken is pretty chill. Ven is pretty chill as well. And you with your bodily group, it's very weird. I don't understand why they choose.
You know, I before we had, come across the nasty people who tried to essentially brainwash and groom me to join a name of body parts nasty crew. I was kind of known as a pretty chill dude in the group. Pretty even keeled, pretty cool customer, like the cool cucumbers. You've really caught me on a bad couple of days.
Yeah, you're more like a spicy pickle at the moment.
I just a couple of days ago, I declared it my birthday because I had such an amazing day.
Well, did you celebrate your birthday?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Bahamut did.
Well, look, it's a present.
Hold
Happy
on.
late birthday.
Thank you.
Here's your opal oyster cell. For you.
I will take it. Thank you. Opal oyster cell. I got this. And he pulls out the silver dragonborn potion.
What does that do?
Oh, when you drink it, you turn into an adult silver dragon.
A dragon,
Yes.
like the big wings and.
Yes. Like. Pulls the head of the huge figurine out. The huge stuffy. Yeah, like a big silver dragon. Breathing. Bringing to justice those who had tried to harm you, and you just become, a dragon.
Just out of curiosity, those who are doing the Speak with Dead, does anyone tell Ven about the mention of Archpriest? Because you've heard Archpriest mentioned about the guy in Anundiel City only.
Not until, not.
When
not
there's a
right
free
now.
moment.
Okay,
Yeah.
just thought I'd ask because that was an important kind of bit of information.
An amazing bit of information, that I did not hear as character. So, thank you.
No,
Thank
you're,
you.
you're welcome. Anyway, back to what I was going to say. I'm sorry.
Please.
I think we both easily are distracted away from points because we are so
Yeah.
excitable.
I'm so excitable.
I think. What is the word? I understand your plight of feeling wanted, is a way to put it, by someone who grants you what you imagine to be your what makes you who you are, in their eyes. Bahamut blesses you with divinity to an extent. I kind of pats the bottle. It's alright to have some reliance on it, but a lot of what is given to you is it's yours to do with as you see fit. You call into question a lot of not being what you assume Bahamut to want you to be. I think you deviated maybe just a little, but that's okay. Apologies are accepted, I would imagine. But if he didn't like who you are, and he didn't like potential that he saw in you, I don't think he would give you what you have at all. I think it's easy to take those things away from, especially with powers of great powers,
You say you're not part of the group, but if I was to say something very apropos, to a fist is you are very much glove in hand with this group. You folded in almost seamlessly, I would say. I do not mean it lightly. We're not just handing out memberships to every, Tom, Dick, and Harry who's walking around. We're pretty cool. Like, we're not the only game in town. There was a whole bone gang trying to, step to us, and they were probably trying to recruit as much, and I'm saying, you're pretty cool. You got the whole wind thing going on, which is pretty awesome. Real, the flight base, that is, pretty cool as well. I don't think it is an accident we've come across you.
What drug?
We've got something here.
What?
What's happening?
This wasn't here when we came by last.
And he goes over to a tree, and you see I guess what do they see, Justin?
If you follow Druck, you'd come to a tree, and you can see 6 small shapes tied off to one of the lower branches, and they are 6 dead canaries.
Sorry, semantically, yellow canaries.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we fucked up.
When have we not fucked up? Let's be honest. The one time we didn't
who
fuck
says
up
you
is
did
when you
this?
killed the moon.
Yeah, I don't think they're tied. Someone with hands did this.
That's kind of more. I don't like that. We're just gonna start to try to untie them.
Yes,
Is this-
none of this was here when we
Their
came by
wings,
last.
as you go to untie one of them, their wings have been cut off.
Yeah, Quoin is going to go help untie them frantically as much as possible.
Were these here when we? Or are we sure these weren't here when we passed by?
Druck would have noticed them if they were.
Yeah, so does I.
I was gonna say we did move.
Yeah, Druck
we
would
were
have
moving
noticed
at.
them if you.
Oh, even at double speed. Okay.
I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
Because moving at fast speed, because I know disadvantage on perception checks gives you a -5 to your passive.
Mm-hmm.
Druck would still have a 22 passive with a -5. So
How do you
Holy
have a 27
Christ.
passive?
the
by
cloak
way?
he got from the Guardian.
But that
What
just
is-
adds 5.
Yeah.
So
How do you have a normal 22? What is that, like a
Feats.
plus?
I'm a
Feats,
rogue.
feats,
I'm
feats.
a rogue, and I have expertise.
Oh,
Yeah, and
yeah.
fun stuff.
And
Holy
observant.
buckets.
And observant, yeah.
Damn. Oh, damn.
Quoin, I'll say this: as Flitz is there, he's moving meticulously fast, but the wind around him is kind of.
Oh yeah, and there's the
like-
wind too, so they're actually kind of like rocking in the breeze.
Yeah, in the wind, that would be like blowing, like it's blowing aggressively from one direction, but the wind around Flitz is almost like vibrating a bit. Is the best way to kind of
Okay.
describe it. Strong emotions from Flitz sets off
Okay.
certain things. And yeah, we all know Flitz loves talking to little beasts, and he just sees 6 little birds strung up with their wings cut off, and he is not.
Mhm.
He's probably moving around Quoin to get to the next one, trying to just as quick as possible.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna step on the side of the wind and put my shield up as one and keep trying to work with a dagger to cut them free with one
Easily
hand,
done.
but hold the shield up to block the wind,
Mm-hmm.
at least
Can
from where Quoin is working.
Can I look around the area for any other, like, did anyone leave a call sign?
Make an investigation check. But I also said, Garrett, I sent you something.
15.
You don't find anything.
Bastards.
Druck goes around to the other side of the tree.
Looks like we got something else here.
I'm gonna go up to Druck.
It's so fun having a character with this high passive perception. Can you just be like, hey, you find all these secrets. It's great. I love it. I'm so happy about it. Yeah, you can all follow
I guess,
Druck
like-
around the side of the tree.
Druk is doing the like 100% completion run.
Mhm. Yeah,
campaign.
getting all the collectibles.
Yeah.
He'll squat down, take out a dagger. Just kind of,
It's partially. What you can see is partially obscured by like grass.
and he'll like cut away some of the grass from it
Okay.
to get a clear view.
You all
for
see,
everyone.
yeah, you all see a symbol that's been carved into the base of the tree, the same tree where the canaries hang from, of 5 dragon heads arranged in a circle. The symbol for Tiamat.
We all see it.
You all see it because Ruck is pointing it out.
Quoin spitting right on him.
Yeah, everybody takes turns.
So,
Yeah.
so as Quoin spits on it, it glows slightly. As you all spit on it, it glows slightly. Kind of
Detect
scorching,
magic.
kind of scorching into the tree where the mark is.
And Quoin can
I have to write that down.
I wanna cleft it with my shield.
Like hit it.
Like not hit it. Like I want to like. I want to take a chunk out of the. I want to essentially try and separate it from the tree and
All
like,
right.
cut into the tree and cut around it to get it
Okay.
off the tree.
Fair enough. Make a survival check.
Guidance.
Guidance.
This
is
would be
a
more
D4.
nature, so you don't actually like kill the tree.
Right.
So more of a
Okay.
nature check.
All right. I'll do a nature check. And guidance is plus D4.
Yes.
Okay.
Oof. Oh no.
You see, the trick is wait.
So that's a 7.
A 7. You kind of hack into the tree, but don't make any progress. And when you do, though, you notice that mark goes the entire way through the tree.
Can I cast Dispel Magic on it?
Roll a d20 and add your spellcasting modifier.
What if I cast it at a 5th level?
Roll a d20 and add your spellcasting modifier.
Yeah.
Alright. Am I gonna trust D&D Beyond with this?
I don't know. Roll a d20
Yeah.
and add your spellcasting modifier.
Spellcast modifier is a +6. +24. No, 22.
22.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It stops glowing, but it's still very much carved into the tree.
Do I have a hand axe or a hammer? I have a hammer.
I have all of these woodworking tools. Actually, mess with this a lot. Do you want it removed, or you want
whatever
it
magic,
defaced?
whatever magic was there seems to be gone now.
Druck, it does seem... What's your passive insight?
22.
With your passive insight, it seems like this display of canaries was deliberate to catch the attention of someone certain. Like a certain someone.
This is I did not see it earlier, but this is most definitely a trap. Not in the sense that not in the literal sense where people jump out and shoot us, but it's a mind trap.
I'm gonna
This was
cast
meant
mage
to
armor.
lure-
Sven,
This was meant to
I
lure
think you still have
somebody.
mage armor up.
Aim.
It lasts 8 hours.
Alright, so yeah,
Let's
because
roll
that's why you
throw
took
mage
Goliath.
armor.
Venom Foot's just. Oh no, we think it
The
might.
incantation, we're like almost in tandem.
both of us. We're on the same page.
Yeah.
No, Druck. I think this may just actually be a regular trap.
Then I guess I'm going to check around, all around, see if anybody's here.
It's late at night. You don't hear anything because of the wind. But you also don't see anybody. Druck's passive perception would detect a literal mouse crawling nearby, and you don't detect anything. Well, even with a -5 because of the wind, but
Right.
don't detect Druck doesn't detect anything either. So just seems like it glowed when you touched it. Any part of you touched it, and then when it was put onto the tree, it went through the entire interior of the tree all the way to just the entire thing.
So, it seems as though this was some type of trap. And something happened. We all saw it. The thing is, we don't know what. We could... I don't know what we could do about it, but that's what it seems like.
Flitz, are you still in the process of like removing the canaries from the strings? Okay, as you do, one of them, their head just goes and looks up at you.
Flitz. He screams. It's Flitz would scream louder than I would, but
Okay.
he screams.
Okay, Flitz screams. You all hear it because it's it's like a scream on the wind.
I guess I was wrong.
You see Flitz holding a canary that's like moving.
Then the Quoin would go up and see if I can put a healing.
Oh, you walk up to it. It's still dead as fuck.
The wings are
it
chopped
senses
off, right?
dead.
The wings are chopped off and it's dead as fuck. But it's
But
moving
it's-
around and it's like opening its beak. And you can hear like gurgling, like a gurgling kind of thing in the throat, like a coming from this small little bird.
Flitz kind of like awkwardly holds his hand aloft, like open wide, like closes his eyes and looks away.
Dax is backing up 30 feet. It's just like,
so
what the
you're-
fuck? What the fuck?
Quoin, you see you're just holding it and looking away,
Yeah.
Flitz.
Mm-hmm.
Then Quoin would put a hand on your shoulder, pick up the bird, say, "May you soar with Bahamut, free of pain and hate."
Before you crush it, as you go to crush it, it's still speaking while you're crushing it and continues to
It's like
speak
it's
while you crush it.
Like a snap neck.
Yeah, it still
Pop
speaks.
in. Yeah.
Who in the
You
party?
saw- and
Who
then
in the party
just-
can understand Draconic? Cool. The three of you hear the words, "She will burn this world once more. You will all become ash." The remnants awaken.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just over and over again. May you soar with Bahamut, free of pain and hate.
Flitz is going to.
And eventually it just goes silent.
He's going to mold earth. He's going to cast mold earth to shift some of the dirt around to make it like loose dirt.
Okay.
And he's going to create like a small hole.
Okay.
And he's going to start putting the others.
Yeah, they stop.
Yes.
That one stops moving.
And I get the pieces of that small
Yeah.
bird and put them in the hole.
All right.
He'll redo mold earth so that it lays on top, and he'll create like a smooth surface again, so it doesn't look like disturbed earth.
Okay.
So then just like just a final rites is a quick ceremony that you would do. Yeah, just a quick one.
Okay.
Nothing too extravagant. Just a quick one.
Cool.
Just a quick one, guys.
But all the birds, little canaries, get buried.
So,
Who
what
else
did or
understood
didn't
that?
did the mouth say anything about Tiamat?
No, but he did mention an archpriest.
Say what now?
Yeah, you two were talking for a bit. But
Yes.
the mouth did say that the archpriest let the mouth and the gang run kind of the area underneath the temple of Bahamut.
Excuse me?
I mean, that's what the mouth said, whether we believe it or not.
Okay,
Who
well,
is this? Who is
you
this
could-
archpriest? I'm sorry, I don't know who this person is.
Are you from Anundiel?
No, I'm from Hollyshire.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Way to the west.
Right. Wait, isn't that on the same? Anyway.
You'd be
on the
aware.
same
You'd
con-
be aware
yes,
of who the
I am
archpriest
from
is.
Anundiel.
You'd be aware of. You'd be aware of who the archpriest is.
I don't know. He's pretty.
Oh, that's
not
right.
bad.
Never mind. That's right. I forgot. Never
Like-
mind.
Well, he,
From
okay,
this country, right?
I will say he does have a pretty high fucking history. So he is proficient in history. So it's more like a. I will say I play Flitz where he probably knows shit. It's more like a. Am I going to actively recall it in the
All
moment?
right. You know
You know
what?
who the Attorney
Just
General
roll a
is?
straight intelligence check.
No. Apparently, I didn't know the Mississippi River was
Just,
on the
just
Mississippi.
roll. Just roll. Just,
So-
just
I live
if you
here.
want. If you want, just roll a straight intelligence check. Up to you.
Okay, I'll roll a straight intelligence check. Oh, yeah, there it is. 23.
Some priest dude in an Untitled
Some priest
City.
dude. Cool. Is he over any specific
He's like the head of.
temple?
He's technically the head of religion on the continent, because Armathan is considered the head religion now, and this Barnier guy is the head priest of that, and that temple that he resides in is the Halls of Eternal Life in Anundiel City in the Dawn Ward, and is the biggest temple. It dwarfs every other temple in the thing.
Was that the dude?
He was
that
the
wasn't
dude at the
who's
festival
being
who was
weird.
like, "Come to the
Oh.
temple, I will make you all feel better."
Yeah.
He was the one who was at the resurrection ritual as well for the kid.
And spoke with
Ven.
Ven.
Yeah, that's
Got
Yeah.
it. Okay,
And Ven-
now it all starts
And
clicking.
Ven seemed to really dislike him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I remember some shit talking about the
I also
dude.
forgot you met him,
Got
so
it,
that's
got it,
that
got
guy.
Yeah, okay,
Total
just making sure.
shitbird.
A
Because I don't know if
dwarf
it said
who
archpriest. I
is-
think it was just his
A
name.
dwarf is
so.
basically think dwarf televangelist,
Yeah.
Mm,
but worse, which is
Great.
hard to imagine.
If it floods, not going to go in your temple, sir.
Nice. I get that reference.
Good.
What a dick. You know you're an asshole, right? Oh, anyways,
Okay, so wait, do we believe that he was involved? I mean, would it make sense that he was involved? Then you didn't seem
Absolutely.
to. Okay, that's all. I
just no
needed to hear.
hesitation, absolutely. And it did seem he was using the explosion in the Dawn Ward to his benefit.
He has been very shady, to say the least. There's also been a whole. There's been a whole expansion of the catacombs that he's been underneath the temple that he's been conducting, which may have been connected to that temple under the Temple of Bahamut, or the tunnel under the Temple of Bahamut.
Question: how suspicious would he be of a gift from you, Vin, or from the group?
Ironically, from me, probably not at all.
I have an idea. If we want to know some information,
What's that?
so he grabs his bottle. I possess the ability to, as you know, go into my bottle. I could be into it for essentially the time that we would all be sleeping and resting. But one of the benefits of the bottle is, and he kind of runs his fingers over some of the like wave carvings. I can hear from the bottle while I'm inside.
I already know. I can see where you're going with this. I would not want to put you in that amount of danger.
That is not an acceptable risk.
Well, he wouldn't really know, and I can go invisible if I need to.
He's an archpriest of Armathnin and a more powerful cleric than I am a wizard.
He's also a real. It seems. I mean, no disrespect to you, Ven, or to you, Dax. He seems like a pretty big. I mean, I've been calling people turds all day. This guy's a real shit.
All right, so just an idea.
No, and
I appreciate it.
Yes, no. I listen. If this is a writing room, no bad ideas. Everybody keep throwing them out. Yeah, positivity. Got to thrive on positivity. But we wouldn't want to just leave you in a position to have to go it alone. Like I said, you've become more than just an outside tag along. You've become an extra finger to this fist,
Yeah, I very much appreciate the offer, and especially since you've only known us for 2 days. But
Yeah, it does seem like more. Like perhaps
Yeah,
it really does.
I mean, I was doing far worse apparently, and wasn't even aware of it. So I'd much rather be aware of the danger that I'm going into.
Right. We would not be able to ask you to do that. And again, I think there's a high risk of him catching us. He may detect magic on any gift he gets. He has the expendable magic to do so.
Sounds very dangerous, alright. Cool. Thanks for the warning, and thanks for not letting me
Yes.
doing that. Appreciate it. Is there a way that we can get to the city faster? Or are we just stuck walking the whole time?
You guys want to get there faster?
You've been walking for an hour.
Well, I mean,
We could take a tree.
Yeah, you have it prepared now.
We could do what?
yes.
We could take a tree.
Like, cut the tree down and we fly it?
Yes,
No.
so turn it into like a trebuchet.
Although
listen,
that would be very fun. I don't have catapult prepared or know how
I
to
do.
use it.
gang, this running has kind of gotten the blood flowing to my brain and things, and if, for instance, there were fires in the city, a lot of them would likely be out by now, yes?
I've been walking for about an hour, and he's been dead for 9 hours.
Yeah.
So,
Walking into the aftermath.
by
yes.
the time we get there, we may be showing up just to take the blame.
We would be
Oh, it
showing up
does.
with evidence that we are not to blame.
I guess Quoin has the letters. that
As
mentioned
long
it.
with the letter, yes. All right.
And also,
just-
we have evidence like that. Didn't someone want the mouth's head?
Yes,
Yeah.
the prince, king, wants the head.
I know some wizards
it's
possess
part
the
of the
ability to
contract.
speak long distances, like really long distances. Vin, do you possess that ability?
I do not know. There's a few spells that have been some staples around that level of power that I've realized that I should probably get my hands on. Counterspell being one of them.
Oh, I have that one. I can
Oh, do
teach you
you?
some of the incantations if you like.
Wait, do you have it actually in your spell book?
So I don't have a spell book.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, I'm gifted.
Yes, that's right.
Source
that's
lock,
right.
Sorelock.
I guess
get it.
what I'm saying is that perhaps we should be prepared when we get there for things. We might not be solving anything by showing up, is what I'm saying.
Well,
But then when we do show up, Ben can take a rest. And Quoin can take a rest, and we can all be on the same page, physically.
I will say this: if you do take the road the rest of the way, Ven will be making con saves for being up for more than 24 hours, because you'll be getting to that point. You're almost at that point now, actually.
So, is there a tree near my house that a large
Yes.
or smaller creature
A
can
lot
walk
of the
through?
trees in this region are of like the same. I was gonna say breed of the same lineage type. Oof, I don't really care about the
Species?
exact wording, but yeah. The
Okay.
market ward is full of trees because they don't want it just to be paved streets. There's
Yeah.
trees that people provide shade and stuff in the city.
We love a city
So
that likes
I'm gonna
cities.
walk up to the nearest large tree.
Do you tell your friends that if you cast a spell, they have 6 seconds to follow you, or they're left behind?
Yeah, so I'm gonna
Okay.
give them the whole spiel. All right, guys, before I do this is what you gotta do. I need you all to line up in single file. Druck, you should probably go in first because you're pretty fast. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna touch this tree, and it's gonna create a portal to the tree that was behind my house, and it's just gonna take us straight back to the city. All right.
All right.
Don't hit any walls because there's a lot of walls in the market district, in the market ward. So don't run too fast.
I mean, It's a portal. Just jump through and then jump to the side to let other people in.
Great. Druk gets it. High five. And I'm gonna cast transport via plants.
Both of you make sleight of hand checks to see how good this high five is.
Come on, roll.
Because bad high
Contested
fives
sleight
are a
of
thing.
hand? Can I cast guidance on Druk?
You don't need to cast it on me.
Can I cast it on myself
No,
as I high
you
five?
can't cast guidance on yourself.
Okay. It hovered on a 14.
What'd you get?
5.
Your form's pretty bad. You kind of hit Druk's like forearm.
Yeah, I hit lower elbow.
Oh,
You're much taller than I am, Druk. I just can't reach.
it's my fault.
All right, transport via plants.
Okay, you'll have 6 seconds to get into the
Go,
tree.
go, go.
Ruckus.
Okay,
X goes.
2,
1, 2, 3,
I'll
4,
be the last.
5,
What's his name? Flitz? Goes.
6.
I'm going in.
Okay.
What's his name? Flitz.
We all go.
Flitz leaps to the tree just as it closes,
yeah.
and you all end
Flips
up.
off the heel of his boot.
Yeah, just cuts off his foot. You all wake up. You don't wake up. You all step out into the backyard of the Peshan house, and there's a homeless guy pissing, and he looks up and go against the tree, and he's just like, "Hello,
Maybe don't do that at someone's house.
no one lives here.
Technically, I still own the deed, Murgatroyd.
Here's a gold. Flitz is gonna toss him a gold. Now go. Come on. Go pee
midstream,
somewhere else.
He like catches it and walks away.
Catches it, drops
See you
it down.
next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just falls off. Just
Oh,
but also, as you arrive, people are walking around perfectly fine. No alarm bells, no fires anywhere in the vicinity. Everything is perfectly intact. No explosions.
Was it a lie?
I mean,
he was the notorious liar, right? Wasn't that kind of his whole thing?
Well, maybe his backup, his dead man switch was the thing that almost killed me. You know, for like the giant explosion that gave
that
me
letter
this.
that he wrote in was definitely after that happened.
Oh,
Maybe did what?
still
What-
definitely bald. I just remembered that.
You're
What,
also you're also bald.
I've
with
got
a beard?
luscious beard
You
though.
have a beard. Bald and beard. It's a good
Luscious
look.
beard. Yeah.
In the letter, did it say what exactly the instruments of this explosion would be made of? Just barrels or just explosions? Do we know what he used last time?
Do we know what acrid is?
Yeah, it's pretty common. It's a pretty common thing now, but it's been outlawed everywhere because of its destructive potency. So it doesn't get made anymore, and to possess it is a very hefty crime.
Me, I got a gram of acrid.
Like even like a gram would be like imprisonment because it's considered basically like it's considered like WMD.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
considering what y'all did to a pirate ship with it,
My brain did not hear WMD. I heard WD-40.
Yeah,
and
it's
I was like,
WD-40.
"What
I'm not the
is
only
that
one. I'm
bad?"
glad-
Thank
glad
you,
I'm not the only
Sam.
but looking around, no such explosions rocked the city.
Because we've
Well, that's
seen
good
one.
news.
You've seen one,
Explosion.
and the destructive capabilities, and it mentioned that he had it stored all under all through the sewers of the city, and that would have caused the entire city just to like not be here anymore. The city is intact. People are walking around as if nothing has happened. They are perfectly a-okay.
Maybe.
We should
Yeah.
speak with people who are in charge of the city, people who are in charge of the sewers. We should maybe walk softly. Do you think the archpriest would have any connections? This is all. It feels like it is not a coincidence.
Also, as a reminder, you all were forbid from entering the Dawn Ward for some time because of the investigation going on there involving the explosions. And the Crown said that they'll take over the investigation of all of that stuff.
Didn't somebody who requested the head? Of
The
mouse?
Prince.
Maybe we should just go to the prince and return in the head, and then maybe we can get like a free pass or something to the Dawn Ward.
We could also just mention to the prince the potential barrels of explosives under the city and let the guards do that searching.
Yes. Somebody had that letter. Who had the letter? Quoin, you still have it? All right. Yes. The mouth, the head of the mouth, and the letter to the prince.
Yeah. You would walk by the stables on your way to the Royal Ward, by the way.
Well, let's stop
Maybe-
in. Well,
Quoin, maybe maybe we practice what we preach a little bit. A little.
Stable
we've-
boy for later.
we figured out that not everybody is what they seem in a good way sometimes. Maybe he was a little mind controlled like the others.
Yeah, we would just, ask him why he put a fucking dart in my neck.
Oh,
Yeah,
We-
while
are
he
we-
was under.
it wasn't a dart. He was like crouching over you, pushing a syringe into your neck. A little more intimate.
real quick, I'm just gonna lean over to Druck
Kinda
and
fucked
just
up.
be like, "Can you see inside? Is he still in there? Has he noticed us yet?"
Like walking, so you'd be going towards the stables now.
Yeah.
Well, he said we were passing the
Yeah,
stables on our way,
it's
right?
it's on the way. It'd be like take a 10-minute walk. The front door of the establishment is closed. All the lights are off. This time of night, he'd usually be in the stables, like working on animals, like helping them out and stuff. All the lights are off, and the doors to the stables themselves are closed, and they're never closed. They're usually open, so people can make sure their animals are still like inside.
He
Is
flew
your
the coop.
Buell
Yeah,
around?
Freckle.
Your Buell?
You
Is
can't
he
tell the
there?
doors are closed.
Yeah.
Oh.
Freckle,
Oh, got it.
I mean, all of these places used to have like windows.
Yeah, this
not
is- this-
actual
this has-
glass
this has windows. Yeah,
but
yeah, glass
openings.
windows.
So he's gonna go over and like just peek in.
Okay,
Yeah.
peeking in, there is a figure inside. You can just see the outline of a figure. It's completely dark, but you have dark vision. Someone is hanging from the rafters by their ankles.
Druck. What do you see?
You can make
Oh.
out. You can just make out some of the facial features of the stable owner.
We should keep moving.
What about...
This-
Okay.
It's complicated. Stable owner's dead. Hanging in the rafters. We should keep moving.
We should probably find a guard and let them know.
There's a guard walking by. Like they're all over the place.
Excuse me. Hello.
He's holding a torch. Yeah.
Mm,
Oh, it's the
seem-
it's the slim and the slimmiest or whatever. Yeah. What's up? Faust and the Furious,
yes.
right? Not slim and the slimmiest. Sorry.
Yes, no, Faust
Had
and
a good
Furious.
drink tonight. Work's been hell. What's up?
I mean, first off, we should talk about who you represent, the kind of helm you wear. The kind of when you wear that helmet.
All right,
should
see you
have a
later.
little-
And just walk
No,
off.
walk away. That's fine. But I'm just saying, you're walking
Point
away
to
from
the
an
point.
active
the point.
crime scene.
He turns around. Well, then you get to the point then. Okay, where's the crime scene?
It's the stable. It's all closed up, and there's apparently a dead stable owner who, by the way, did assault me.
Do you have proof?
Yeah, the pinprick hole in my
Yeah, but
neck.
do you have proof that he's the one who did that?
I don't think it particularly matters because I think he's dead regardless.
Okay. Lifts up the stable door, and he like shines his torch, holds his torch, or it'd be a lantern, not a torch. Holds his lantern, and you can see the stable owner is hanging by his ankles from the rafters by rope, with a single arrow between the eyes.
Any
Drag
animals?
marks, not no drag marks or anything in the stable. Nothing in the stable has been disturbed. But Druck, you notice scorch marks on the floor that are kind of similar that you've seen with teleportation circles.
Yeah, looking at that arrow, can I look at the arrows we took from the guy we killed that had the bow and arrows? Because I don't use arrows.
not of the same
I wanted
design.
to- It's not the
No,
same.
this arrow
arrows.
looks like it's designed
Okay.
to fly through the air perfectly silently. like you can hear arrows like whew, when they go through the air. It looks like the way this thing's been designed is that you can't hear it like sail through the air.
Can I look at the wood?
It's
carving of it?
It's jet black. And it looks like it's got peacock feathers as kind of like the feathers on the back of it.
Okay. I would like to kind of imprint that in my mind as a thing.
Pretty common knowledge that arrow, if you see the
duplicate.
peacock feathers, anyone who sees the peacock feathers that's kind of hung around in cities for a long time, a decent amount of time. But no, these are kind of the arrows. Druk probably wouldn't really clock it, but Ven, Quoin, and Kenna would, because you're from the capital, so just things happen in the capital. The three of you would definitely clock this is probably the arrow used by the Peacock Court and Assassin's Guild. And that Assassin Guild, three of you give me history checks. You've met members of that guild before, but they kind of went against the code of the guild, those two.
Who was it that we met?
Voxhill Osterbrand and the warden of the prison.
Oh, that's right. I forgot they were members.
They were members, but they went against the code. The three of you history checks, please. Because the Peacock Court is an organization you can be a part of next campaign. But
Ooh. Do they still play in Hop?
you don't know.
Okay.
That was a
I rolled
non-canonical
eight.
one shot.
Oh, was it? Okay, I didn't know if it was non-canonical.
that
That's
one
like where
was.
all of my knowledge comes
Ven,
from.
what'd you get?
22.
22. Kenna.
14.
Quite hotting.
I got an 8.
Okay. Kenna and Ven. This is definitely an arrow used by the Peacock Court. They tend to leave calling cards occasionally, just so people know like who did it. And generally, well, not generally, but all the time, no matter what, the Peacock Court only kill people. They only kill people who have contracts put out on them, and they only kill people who are considered either threats to society in like a bad way, or people who have the potential to deal massive harm to civilization. This isn't like an evil assassins guild. They pride themselves on taking out people who could be considered dangers to the public and people's well-being. For example, a certain person in your party would fit the bill to be a contract based on
Me.
things that
It's me,
affect its
guys.
Flitz. Yeah, not an evil assassins guild. Some people see them as, you know, a nuisance. Some people see them as vigilante protectors.
Opportunistic, maybe sometimes.
Yeah, but a lot of people are like, hey, there's like this person who's committing murders in this city, and they randomly disappeared. And sometimes the killings are public to just show society, like, hey, this person wasn't who they all cracked, who they weren't. This person had some dark secrets that we have dealt with, kind of deal. We're basically leaving a message.
Everyone looks like there's some. What is this? Scorch marks there as well.
I'm just gonna look at the guard and just point at the feathers and just be like, so we all know what that means. Oh, sorry, Druk. Druk probably step away from the body.
Peacock Court. Okay, and he just
Yep.
leaves.
Okay, yeah. Well,
That dealt with.
Is that that's a normal thing. It's just these
Well-
people get away with
Well, they don't get away with it. It's illegal what they do, but
can't really do
in
much
our
about it.
investigations, they only kill people who have harmed people or killed people or committed major crimes that are generally punishable by death. They kind of get to it before the crown gets to it, so I guess it's dealt with.
Speaking of the crown, could you escort us to the prince, please? We have an assigned task. I think the group would be gratuitous.
All
right.
As quick as
This
possible.
way.
Actually, I need to stop by the Wayfarers Guild real quick.
Who's
Just
coming with me
kidding.
then?
No one. You go by yourself. You make sure the way is clear for us.
shouldn't we
He just
go
looks-
to the wait? No, shouldn't we go to the prince real first? What do you need to go to the
You
Wayfarers
guys
Guild
go,
for?
I'll meet you there.
No, I think we should all go together. The city might explode.
What the
I
fuck
mean,
is?
I can-
What do you mean? He
I
starts
think
running.
this is a-
He just starts fleeing because he said the city's gonna. He starts running towards. He starts just booking it towards the temple. Or not the temple.
Well-
the keep.
All right.
Well,
All right,
then-
we should get going. But Ren, this looks like magic stuff. Is this something you need to see, or
no, it's perfectly fine. It's just the Peacock Court.
okay? It's
They
not-
kill bad. They show up. They kill bad people. They make an example out of them. I don't know how I feel about them, but they're not our problem.
Okay.
Not our
The
circus,
animal's
not our
okay.
monkeys.
Are the animals okay?
Oh, the only animal that's left in here is Derbule. It looks like they liberated.
What about the elk
Uh,
or the moose?
Ungalow.
do you
yeah.
think the elk
Ungalow.
does disappear under certain circumstances, like if Quoin's knocked unconscious or something?
Got it.
I'm not
don't know.
100% sure.
No worries. I'll look that up.
But Derbule's definitely in here. And it looks like all the animals that were for sale have been liberated.
Set free
Yeah.
in the city.
Yeah, no. There's no
I'm
one
kidding,
has
I'm kidding.
spoke. There's no animals roaming around. It's just like these animals were somehow liberated. The pens aren't open. There's no tracks leading out. They're just gone.
Do you want to walk Derbule with us, maybe? Stretch his legs. Just let him hang out.
We're going to be walking in castle grounds, so I mean,
He could
they're
get
probably
stolen.
safer. They're more likely to be stolen in the middle of the city than in the stable.
Alright.
I think.
It doesn't seem like the steed disappears without anything. I don't have control of it. But you have to be within a mile to talk to it.
Right.
But
It
if
did not.
drops
Okay, so
to
Steve,
zero.
based on what I said about all the animals being taken that show that had that didn't have ownership markings on them, the elk would not be here then.
Right. Perfect.
So it'd just be Derbule. So the Peacock Court would be like, oh, we must liberate this elk that's in here, and
The celestial elk.
this weird looking elk definitely does not belong. Let's save it, and then not here, just Derbule.
Mm.
Alright.
It doesn't look like it just doesn't look phased at all, just eating hay.
All right, to the castle then.
Yes, let us go.
All right. As you make your way to the keep, you can see the guard just running ahead going, explosives under the city! And everyone's like, what? No, that happened a week ago. Or not a week ago. That happened 2 days ago. He's like, oh, first day.
My God.
Sir, please, would you please
Ugh.
like gesture for him to come back over?
He approaches.
I don't want to tell you how to do your job. It seems
Okay,
like you're
cool,
very
don't.
enthusiastic about it. However, I do think that running down the street and yelling explosives under the city is a great way to start a mass
I don't
panic.
come around and slap the dick out of your hand.
What?
Just telling me how to do my job?
I'm making a suggestion and pointing out the possible consequences of your action.
Show you consequences.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That is, I think you owe my friend an apology. You just
I think you
accused
owe
him
me an
of-
apology, too, for yelling
This
at
is
me
the
earlier.
same one that was drinking, guys.
Yes.
That coin. Yeah.
Yes, and you're disgracing
Pulls
the
his sword out.
uniform
No, he
that you
doesn't.
wear.
All right, let's just get out of here.
He
Come
does-
on, let's go.
He's just like,
Are there any other guards around?
no. It looks like this is his like patrol area for the night, and he's just
I
like,
think you need to find a bench to nap on.
"Hey, you need to find a better haircut."
I have braids in.
Yeah.
How can this be a bad haircut?
Come on, let's keep going to the keep. Let's go.
Let's just keep going to the keep.
Come on.
Yeah.
Let's
We
get
do
out of
still
here.
have
Good
news
night,
to-
sir.
No, he should escort
Fuck
us
you,
there.
go by yourselves.
This guy.
All right, if you really want the prince to be wondering why there's
I don't give a shit. He
unescorted-
doesn't know who I am.
I have a photographic memory, so I'm going to remember who you are, and I'm going to show him who you are.
Yeah,
you
can
look
name and badge
stupid.
number?
Come on.
I will say
We
something
know what
very mean
section
to
of
you.
town we're in, and
I'm
they
gonna
have very
sex with your
detailed.
parents.
That's
that to Flitz.
vulgar.
I'm gonna bend him over the wrong
Stop
barrel.
it. I'm going to walk away. Flitz is going to walk away very fast.
All right.
He's like, sorry, I'm really scared.
Zoom.
That is no excuse.
There's something in the alley.
Let's go.
What?
I saw something in the alley the other night.
What did you see in an alley?
There's alleys everywhere. I see them all the time.
What did you see in the alley?
Darkness.
I'm just gonna
scared of the dark.
I'm gonna use prestidigitation to produce just like
He
a
screams, and he
firecracker
runs
pop
away.
right in front of his face.
Yeah, he screams and runs. I no. He passes out.
Well, that makes this easy. Would anyone like to? I'm not that weak. I'm
Should have
gonna.
learned that guy's name.
You can just bring him with us. He passed out.
He sounds like a Trevor.
Oh, his name's Trevor.
Okay.
I'm just gonna just like hook my arms
Write
under
that
his
down.
armpits. And just be like, would anyone else like to help me? Like carry
Yeah, I'll
him?
help. Come on.
Do the
let's
keep?
go.
All right.
No,
yes.
because the last time I was left holding
On-
a body,
when he-
I
when
was
he- when he-
almost
when he-
executed.
When he passed out, his helmet went askew, and you can see he's one of those people that has his name like inside the helmet.
Oh my
So he
gosh.
knows it's his helmet. His name's Trevor.
Perfect.
Did his mom also sew his mittens into his jacket so he wouldn't lose them?
It's gauntlets.
Throw his name into his
Gauntlets.
underwear.
Oh my god,
There's
there's
gauntlets
yarn.
into his
No,
suit.
There's yarn
his
in
mom's
these
dead.
things.
It
Oh,
says
wow.
it
Wow.
says
He speaks
good
of
for her.
vulgar.
it says Trevorville.
Oh my god.
Well,
I'm just gonna turn his helmet around backwards, like, and keep it on his face. And then we're just gonna carry him with us as we go to the keep.
As you make way to the keep, that's where we're gonna go to break real quick, and we're back in 10
Okay.
minutes. Holy fuck! 10 minutes, no explosions. It was a lie. We'll be back
was
in
it?
10
else
minutes,
was a lie.
Why would he lie?
Alright.
everybody. We are back.
Uh,
Heading towards the keep. Passed out guard getting brought with.
Carrying, carrying
Trevor.
Trevor. Yep.
Trevorville.
Helmet backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Your Highness, we found this guard drunk in the alley.
Well, we gotta get to. No,
It takes you
we're
like an
gonna tell
hour
him
to
the
get
truth.
to the keep.
Oh, this city is big.
Transport via
Yeah,
plants. No, I'm
it's
kidding.
yeah. For some reason, I have the population set to like 1 million, and it's a fantasy setting, but it's also high fantasy. But this is a very big city.
Yeah.
Realistically, it should take you more than an hour to get to different districts because it's so big. But,
Yeah.
But you get to the royal ward at like 10:30 p.m. There's a guard that are like the guards that patrol the gardens and whatnot. They're just like, "What do you got there?" Pointing to the guard.
One of your guards, we found him drunk on duty, and
Oh, is it Trevor?
Yes.
Yeah, it's his first
Yeah,
shift.
Trevorville.
Yeah, it's
he
his
said-
first
he
shift
said
here in
some-
the city. He used to be from Bastille before it got attacked by dragons and decimated.
Okay.
He's a little jumpy.
Do you want
He
us
said
to
some-
leave him with you?
Yeah, might as well.
He said some very unkind things about our mothers.
Daleville. Daleton. Take
Dale
Trevor
Earnhardt.
to the barracks. Another guard walks up.
What's up, Dale?
Hand him here, please.
All right.
Thank you. And walks off to the barracks.
I think I like the night guards here.
Night guards are the weird ones.
They're the weird ones, but
fucking
they'll let
wonder.
you get away with weird shit.
I know some people who work like night shifts as security guards. Some of them are weird. They have to entertain themselves, right?
Makes
They're
sense.
fucking weird. One guy would like, I don't know. Anyways, so you can find a way to the keep. You can just walk in. You guys are known well enough. You can just walk in.
Oh.
Heyo.
You can see just
Hey,
you can just see mages walking around doing their like nightly routine of cleaning the keep. Oh, well, hey there!
Hey, guys. Long
Don't
time
track
no
any
see.
mud anywhere.
No, we were fairly clean when we went through a tree. So,
Okay. I just walk past, keep cleaning.
Just in
You can-
case.
You can see
Flitz
behind
will
them are like
prestidigitate.
animated brooms, like sweeping, as well.
Bum,
They're like
bum,
controlling animated
ba-da-da-dum.
brooms and stuff. And another guard approaches. Of course, I have Sam. So a guard approaches and goes, "A one without a helmet. This is another high-ranking guard, but not the one who was a dick to you in the Dawn Ward." He's like, "Hey there. Anything I can do for you? It's pretty late, but anything I can assist you with?"
we've got, we're here to fulfill a request
Yeah.
from
What
the
kind of
prince.
request? I kind of need.
Were you there when the Dawn Ward exploded the other night?
I mean,
Or were you like in the interrogation room?
No, I was getting something sucked. No.
Why would you share that with strangers?
Just you guys are well known. I figured we could banter.
That's not banter. That's not.
We don't
no,
know
that's
each
not
other
appro-
on
that's
that level. We
that's
gotta
not
get-
appropriate.
Sorry,
That's not
I'm,
appropriate workplace conversation.
Sorry.
Yeah, HR.
Sorry, I'm Chester.
You look like a Chester.
Chesterton.
No, Chester McBeans.
We can swap stories later, Chester.
Chester McQueen's.
Oh, good to know.
No, we can swap these kind of stories when we're
No,
both
why
off
are
the
you here
clock.
though?
Oh yeah, we got a present for the prince. It's not a present.
Oh,
Yeah.
Did you just pull the head out? You have a present for the prince. May I see it first? I have to
Yeah.
verify it's not, a bomb or something.
Oh yeah. Never. We would never. Truck,
So-
show him.
Can't just let you in. Oh, the fuck's that?
This is the guy who blew up the Dawn Ward the other night.
And also, who claims to have barrels full of acrid
Oh.
buried throughout the
No,
entire city.
we've been scouting the sewers for the last 2 days. There's nothing else down there.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
So,
Sick.
all right, head on in. The prince is getting ready to. Is just planning his crowning ceremony. Yes, that's the word for it.
Thanks, Chester. We'll see you in a bit. Like on our way out.
Oh no, I'm on patrol. So.
Oh, never mind.
Okay,
see you later.
You guys can get let in to the that throne room that's got like the massive like platinum dragons that support the ceiling, the statues that you've seen before, and the throne that resembles like a platinum dragon, and the prince is just sitting there like, I don't care. Just going over like the like minor details of politics and just every little boring, monotonous thing.
You want a distraction?
And he's you see this elf turns around and he's talking to this kind of smarmy, douchey looking elf, long black hair, pointed ears, clean shaven, well built, who you recognize as the political advisor to the crown, Latimer Meriden, who goes, "Oh, they're here. I will let you talk to them, Your Highness." And he gives you all like a curt nod and walks through another door.
We don't even know this fucker, and he still leaves a sour taste in my mouth.
That's just who he is. From the notes I was given, he's just a dick. But yeah, the prince is like, "Oh, hello, everyone.
We brought something.
Is it alcohol?
You know, like part of our community service.
Oh, the dragons. Yes.
Well, like the other half of that. The slightly less dangerous part of that.
The mouth person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Darky still got it?
Yep.
All right.
Quoin, the note. The note, Quoin. You have the note from...
He takes it, reads it over.
Unfurls a note, gives it to him, yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, there's nothing under the city. The gods have been doing a full sweep of the sewers. They haven't found anything. A lot of the sewers of the Dawn Ward are collapsed, though, from the explosion, so we can't really go into those sewers because it's all collapsed, but they haven't found anything beneath the city, and our Archmage here on the council has developed a spell to kind of detect the presence of acrids, so that's helped a little bit as well. And there doesn't appear to be any lingering in the city anymore.
That's good to hear.
So, I would say this is part one of the job complete.
Yeah.
The dragon stuff that we talked about, you can get to at some point, I imagine.
It's gonna take some time. I think we all agree on that.
Unless they attack
There's a
the
lot of
city,
dragons
then.
flying around.
They destroyed Bastille a few months ago, so who knows if they'll strike another.
I have a feeling we'll have a bit of time to prepare.
Hopefully.
That reminds me, we should perhaps huddle up, as I was granted a vision by Bahamut. I wasn't trying to sit on this, you saying that there's a dragon timeline has jogged my memory.
Did you also have a dream about dragons?
Yes, did you have a dream about dragons?
Yeah, we all had a dream about dragons.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
We talked about this.
What?
Yeah, without going on.
Oh, yeah, Quoin. Yes, we all had dreams about dragons.
They were bad dragons. They weren't your
Nice.
Bahamut.
No, they were
Some bad
probably
dragons are good dragons.
they were probably trash dragons. Yes.
No, yeah, one of the
Thank you,
trash
Gary.
dragons
Thank
in
you.
my dream was the one that we found in the mountains in Remnant
Everybody.
that almost killed us.
I dreamt of this specific trash dragon as well. They had tried to take down a tower, and they said, long story short, lots of nasty shit happened, but they said midsummer to expect
It's interesting
fight.
you say that, or wrong accent. It's interesting you say that. Survivors from Bastille mentioned an attack in Midsummer as well, but they were attacked far before Midsummer.
Yes, it is. They're going to be attacking Midsummer here.
Oh. Are you positive?
I mean,
There was something about a lightning storm that was going to follow.
What
or
sort of
something.
lightning storm?
I don't know.
Okay,
Listen-
thank you.
Well,
If
that's
dreams,
what I wrote in my notes.
You all would know it was the exact same lightning storm that hovers over the Taragahar Mountains.
Okay,
so
yeah,
you
I
know-
wouldn't know
you know
that.
the storm
I
that
would-
you
hits
would-
the
you would know
mountains?
that.
Okay.
Because you can see that lightning storm from, like... It's like in Lord of the Rings where they can see Mount Doom basically at all times.
Got it,
Like,
okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
So
Yeah,
you know
those-
the
those
storm that
lightnings.
just hangs out above the
Yeah,
mountains
the
over
perpetual
there?
storm. It's been happening for thousands and thousands of years.
Yeah, it's gonna move to the city
How?
around about midsummer.
How?
Trash dragon shit, I'm assuming.
What's a trash dragon?
A non-metallic dragon, basically.
Well,
is what I believe.
not all non-metallic dragons are trash.
No, it is. That
You have
is.
gem
it is-
dragons and you have other souls.
No, this refers to specifically chromatic dragon.
Well, not all
they-
chromatic dragons are trash as well.
Are we going to say
Well, as per the rules of Monsters of the Multiverse, it says typically evil, not all the time. And this setting, the Dungeon Master doesn't like to make anything inherently evil based on its birth. So,
What is yes? What is nobler to be born good or to overcome your evil nature through great effort?
also, you do have a name of these group of dragons. They were called the Remnants of the Five Scale.
I did write that.
Do you share that?
Sure.
remnants of the 5 scale?
Some got knowledge of
And-
that, some didn't.
Remnants of the 5 scales. There was something black salamander dragon.
Those
that's-
dragons, the Remnants of the Five Scale, were present during the conflict with the World Breakers briefly, and then they all disappeared when Tiamat tried burning the whole of the world during Tiamat's ruin. They disappeared along with her.
Do we
Yes, and
spit?
then
Twice.
They said these were dragons with spellcasting capabilities, runes engraved into their scales.
yes, this is the kind of trash dragon we have been seeing, and we also ran into a tree that had been desecrated in order to, with a symbol of Tiamat that had.
Please don't spit in here.
Just the airflow.
No, this is a he gestures to like Bahamut statues. Just please don't spit in here. It's a sacred place.
Prestidigitate the spit.
Okay.
Yes, if need be, I will respect Bahamut's hall.
So
Do I-
you're saying the dragons that attacked Bastille were the remnants of the Five Scale?
I'm saying
Most
I'm
likely.
not. I'm saying.
The dragon you all were contracted to kill in a volcano. Did it have runes under its eye, like on its scales?
Yes.
You're positive. Do you happen to have any of its scales on you?
Yeah.
We all
Yes,
slow
I have
turn.
many pieces of it
Yeah, you
still
do.
left in this
Bag of preserving.
bag of preserving.
Yeah,
Dragon
you pull
punch on
out
you?
the scales that you've chopped off, and yeah, there's glyphs still carved into the scales, and he's like, "That's very bad. That's a bad omen. They were supposed to be sealed away when Tiamat was imprisoned by Asmodeus, and there's been some theories that when Asmodeus lost his position in the Nine Hells and a new entity took over, that the new entity didn't how do I say this? The protections that Asmodeus had in place to keep Tiamat sealed away broke when he was destroyed, and when the new devil took up the Nine Hells. So that's probably how the remnants got out.
Just a question.
Now
How
they do
many-
say that not all of them died not all of them were banished. One did in fact die over the continent of Estelfire during the time they were banished. and they said that dragon was working towards lichdom.
Well, there was a blue one that was undead, apparently. Was
That
the
would
one?
be it.
Oh, well, that was in our shared dream, if I do recall. One of you. I think we all saw different dragons, right? Like me and Kenna were just lounging about, and we got spores blown in our face.
So you
by
saw
this-
that you saw a deep dragon.
Is that the black salamander dragon?
They say there was a deep dragon in the Remnants, so that makes sense.
Sure, that would be them then.
This is lining up. What else did you all see in the dream? Any other dragons you can mention?
The blue nasty trash dragon.
The Dracolich.
It barely had any. Its skin was hanging off of its bones.
Yeah, the Dracolich that the people spoke about. Died over the Goliath forest on the continent of Esselvire.
They didn't stay dead.
Lich. They say
For a second, I thought you said bitch.
Bitch!
Well,
Bitch, and
I'm
stay
just giving
dead.
you facts.
Bitch.
This city is bullying me today.
They said one of the dragons died while the banishment occurred, and that it had reached some sort of lichdom, but the mages at the time put a gem in its forehead to prevent it from awakening. As I look at each of you very slowly, except Flitz, or Lex, because Lex wasn't here last campaign when the gem got pried out of its forehead.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, last campaign problems bubbling up.
There was a green dragon. I don't remember much about the green one.
Green dragon. All right. There were people saying that there was a green dragon roaming around Varanmoor, the woods around the rainforest around Varanmoor. That could be that one.
I remember that.
I don't know what that is.
Well, here's my theory. Blue dragons their lairs tend to be swarmed by lightning usually. Lightning storms tend to follow blue dragons around. The Tiragahar Mountains could contain the lair for this Dracolich. And the forests of Varanmoor could contain the lair for the green dragon. It would seem that you've already killed the red dragon, so one of the remnants is dead. And they could be amassing to get revenge on the 6 of you for killing one of their own, perhaps. And that is why Bastille was attacked. You've been in Bastille before, from what I've read through ledgers and whatnot, through the Wayfarers Guild, so they could be following and attacking the places you've been and developed connections, perhaps. Eye for an eye sort of thing, it seems. Plus, you do have one who openly worships their goddess's brother, who the two of them don't get along, so that could fuel them a little more.
Well, our goddess can go sit on attack.
Oh!
I don't disagree, but that is very interesting. Latimer, I know you're listening. Yes, I'm just getting information. It pays to listen. Yes. Send out word to the other settlements here and on Remnant just to be safe. He nods and walks away. Anything else? Do you have good news?
I mean, I know that the head of the Assembled Parts gang resides in Redbrook, and I
Oh.
have
Good to know. I will send some guards that way to investigate.
here's a letter that
Takes
they
it.
in their hand.
Well, if this should be part of the investigation here in the Dawn Ward, I will send guards that way. Thank you.
Also,
Do you have actually any, like, very good news, though? That doesn't deal with murderers and whatnot?
You should also keep an eye on the Archpriest.
I'm aware of...
Apparently, he gave the body parts gangs, free reign.
He gestures for you to shut the fuck up.
Oh, but...
He kind of just goes like this a little bit. He has people everywhere. And we are aware of certain things. But the church is very powerful. That's all I'll say. They were capable of dismantling the whole original religion that the continent followed. His spies are everywhere.
But you are making moves, right?
Attempting to and failing.
So, hypothetically, if he were to receive a gift, an urn, would he check it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, nope, there we go. Confirmed.
He's a very paranoid individual. And there are people who whisper that he caused the death of Darnus, the old head acolyte. So.
Oh, really good news. Druk won a really big plushie, a
Great.
coin. That's pretty good news.
As you're talking, another door opens, and you see this bipedal raccoon walk in.
Hey.
Wearing wizard robes. He's like, "Sal, what the fuck are these people?"
Hello?
Hello? Hello.
Ven and Flitz would recognize who this is because he's quite the historic figure.
Well, we've met him before,
Yeah,
too. It's
but-
a party.
Once, briefly.
Yeah.
But
How do you
Flitz,
like? He
Flitz-
helped us.
Not really. Flitz and Ven have more knowledge about this guy. I'm more giving Flitz the
Is there?
context now.
Okay.
He was a figure at the Soulspire Academy for a time that got kicked out for weird experiments.
Mm-hmm.
And as part of his punishment, he had to serve the crown as the Archmage and have like a close eye on him at all times. And he's like, "Who are these people?" They're the Faust and the Furious, the mercenary group, adventurers. It's sort of, I don't really know. They're helping us with some things. Oh, are they here to test out the device? Are you here to test out the device?
There's a device.
Yeah.
What's the device?
Oh, do you want to know?
Do I want to know?
Do you like magic?
As much
Yes.
as the
He
next
kind of
person.
goes like... His eyes are like bulging and they're like really like red, like just fucking bloodshot. He's like, "Yeah, do you like magic?"
As much. He seems very different from the last time we saw him.
He has episodes. He came into contact with something in it. You know what? Actually, you could do me a favor if you're not so... I'll pay you for it.
Yes, we have a growing list. Let's add.
Oh, this
to
one
it.
you could do in like a couple hours. Like an hour or two. It's very quick. Yeah! Good. I need you to help me look at something.
Alright.
It's under the castle. No one's allowed under that far under the castle. Come on.
Alright.
And the prince is like, "Just make him tired. For me, I'll pay you each 500 gold.
Alright.
Wow. That is.
Come on. This way. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Trondar Exilian. Have we met before?
Yes,
When?
briefly. A few weeks, days ago.
No, that's not possible.
Why not?
Nah, I would have. I'd remember.
All right.
I could smell faces. He points his like raccoon snow.
Interesting.
I'd remember.
It's a unique talent you got there.
What of it?
Smelling faces.
You a cop?
Nah, you.
No.
Good.
Hate him. Anyways, as he says it, a guard walks by and goes, "The fuck?"
Fuck, dude.
Me.
I went to your wife's first communion.
He leads you like towards this like wall. He's like, "Okay, it's right through here. Just a standard fucking stone wall."
Walk up, put my hand on it.
Hey! Don't touch.
What?
And he puts his hand on it, and the wall grinds to the side, and he said, "Come on, this way."
Oh, I thought he. Okay. I thought it was illusory.
You could have died.
Oh,
Oh dear.
what?
Maybe I'll play this guy next campaign. Anyways, just walking down the stairs.
I thought your character was like dialed
This is a
in.
better idea. Just walking you downstairs. Just do a custom lineage option. That's official. Leads you down the stairs. Spiral staircase. It's all lit with like torches of different colors and like portraits of just random people that don't make any sense. Like just weird portraits of people that don't stand out. It's just weird. And you get to the basement, opens another door, and inside is this massive glass cylinder about 30 feet around. And inside is like a landscape that's growing. Like grass and trees and little shrubs and everything. And it blooms and then it dies instantly. He's like, "Okay, you think this is fucking interesting, right?"
Yes.
Terrarium.
It's not like a terrarium. What are you talking about?
All right. My bad.
I call this a terrarium.
All right.
So, okay, you ready for this?
Yeah.
2 fucking days ago, this wildlife, I suppose, magically fucking appeared through the cracks in the floor. 2 days
So
ago.
yes-
All right.
So timeline. Yesterday was the festival. The
Yeah.
day before was the day we then put
Yeah.
all the
Yep.
weave into the earth.
Yep.
Cool. Great.
Yep.
In 2 days.
Cool. It's been 2 days.
So this popped up 2 days ago. I put this device around it to contain it so it doesn't spread. What do you think? Cool, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
it looks ancient.
What the fuck are you talking about? It's brand new.
No, but I mean, like, this looks like a subspecies of plant that hasn't been on the surface.
This is a plant you've actually never
thousands of
seen
years.
before. Like,
I'm,
no
like, trying
one's
to get the hint of-
seen before.
But Kenna's connecting the dots, trying to like, hey, there's this other thing that came out of the ground 2 days ago. Maybe they're connected.
Performance check.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Song and dance. Tap.
Oh no, this would be persuasion.
Is he? He's not a dwarf, is he?
No, he's a bipedal raccoon.
Oh, he's a raccoon. He's a raccoon.
He's a dwarf.
He's a raccoon
God.
wizard.
Raccoon. 10.
10?
10.
What are you talking about?
You know the giant city that flew out of the ground?
Yeah, everybody does now.
Yeah, maybe
People
they're
are
connected.
freaking out.
But like maybe that city and this new plant is connected?
Yeah, maybe.
Let's walk over to like the glass and just observe from.
Yeah, it's like blooming and dying, blooming and dying.
Is there a way to get in there?
Yeah, do you want
To,
in?
Yeah, I mean,
I haven't gone in.
or maybe that shouldn't be a good idea.
Here you go, and he opens up a hatch. I don't know what'll happen.
No.
Closes it. But look at this. And he walks over somewhere else. Come on. Gestures for Gold to follow him. He looks maybe like 5 feet beside it, and he points down to like the cracks in the ground where it looks like something sprouted up, and you can see these like little arcane like veins almost, full of like crackling blue energy. Just that's fucking cool too, right? I've been huffing it. So
What?
yeah, look, he like sticks his hand in, and you see he's holding on like this physical like blue matter that's just glowing before it just fizzles.
Is he literally grabbing onto the weave and pulling it out of the ground?
It's not really, because the vein is still very much intact. He just like dips his hand into it and pulls it out, and he goes like, "See, look at this shit."
And Flitz
Do you mind if I try some of that?
If you
Had the
wanna
same
see
idea.
Everything.
I'm gonna stick my hand in.
Okay. Are you proficient in Arcana?
No.
You don't feel anything. You feel like a little tingle, like just.
Hey, Vanner Flitz,
Mm-hmm.
you wanna stick your hand in this mysterious glowing stuff?
Absolutely not.
Does anybody else want to stick their hand in it?
I'm going to try it.
Okay, Flitz, you stick your hand in.
Yes.
Okay. You watch as Flitz's eyes just go completely white as they roll back, and Flitz, you just stand
oh no,
there.
I killed
And
Flitz!
Flitz, you just stand there, and you see through time,
Oh my god.
just all the way to the past,
Oh,
to
I
the
don't
beginning
like
of
that.
everything,
Don't like that.
and you start to speed up, glimpses, and you get a sense you're about to view how you die in the future.
We yanking that arm
Okay,
out.
so just your eyes just back to normal.
Yeah, I don't think we
Right?
want to.
Crazy.
Can I try to pluck it like he did?
Yeah.
And before it fizzles, Flitz is gonna try to cast Minor Illusion, like trying to channel this momentarily valuable energy.
Roll an Arcana check.
Guidance?
You literally have to be like within touching distance to do guidance.
I mean,
Just so you know.
I did call Flitz over to the crack.
True.
That's true.
But just saying, every time you want to cast guidance, you have to be within touching distance of somebody.
Yeah. Pat him on the back.
Oh, that's not good.
I mean, technically it's an action, not a reaction, too. But
Hey.
That's true.
15.
Okay, 15. You all watch as like flowers begin to sprout in Flitz's hand, and a rabbit appears, like a pink rabbit, hops out of the hand, starts hopping around, and then goes,
Nope.
and then morphs into a chicken and explodes. That's what I'm fucking talking about.
Like explodes in magic.
Oh, it explodes in like sparkles, not gore or anything. Just
Okay. Good. Yeah. Hey,
Flit's
Flitz,
eyes were
it's
closed.
gone.
He just assumes they're gonna be
You just see
gore
like
everywhere.
you see the multicolored sparkles just filling the room.
Hey, Flitz.
Mm-hmm.
There's no. It just exploded into a ball of light and sparkles.
This is wild.
I'm gonna be honest. There was some time
What the fuck
stuff
is
that
this shit?
yeah, it was
I need to write
dealing
something
with.
down. He like speeds over to like a piece of parchment. What am I gonna call this? Discovery. Ley line. And, like underscores it or underlines it. Yeah, that's cool as fuck. Ley line.
Yeah, I
Folds of the
definitely
parchment.
saw.
Don't fucking steal my idea.
No, that's your idea. You found it. You contained it. But I did see time. I don't think
Yeah,
I got
same.
it actually. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think I got it. Did you actually follow it all the way through?
Oh yeah.
Turned out
So
all
you're
right.
psychologically scarred for life.
Didn't have an ending, so I stopped. I got bored.
Yours didn't have an ending. Well, mine seemed
Nope.
like it was coming to an end. So didn't like that at all.
No, that sucks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know the progression of it.
Well,
But with yeah.
how many of you are good at magic?
Depends on the kind of magic.
Sees Ven and clocks like the cloak, looks at Flitz. Well, you both went to the academy apparently, so come on, this way.
Oh, bye, I guess.
It leads you 5 feet to the right.
Oh,
Do any of you know teleportation circle?
yes.
Okay, good to know. Anyways, so that's where that fucking point just ends. Okay, so how good of a wizard are you?
Fairly, I suppose.
Okay, Points at you. How good of a... kind of smells you? Thing are you?
You know, fairly.
Who else can cast magic here?
I think everyone can.
Spell slots is what I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've got a couple of those.
They're like, I'll
I-
teach you some simple presentations if you want.
I am an instrument of Bahamut.
Like actual spell slots.
I mean, we just walked through a tree to
Okay,
get
cool.
to this.
Good to know. Weird. Okay. So... he kind of freezes for a second, like he's like it's a video that's glitching. Anyways, so here's what I'm saying. I think whatever this is, it's fucking spread through the world. This vein thing.
That's a pretty good guess.
What do you mean?
No, it's not a guess.
What do you think?
Well, you see.
Why would?
Look at
Has
this.
it always been here? Or what
No.
is-
This is recent. Look at this.
I'm gonna.
This is my
lean over
lab.
to
It just
Ben.
fucking appeared one day. But look at this. He walks over to another machine that's going like beep 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 beep. It's like just like these weird like trinkets spinning around and like globes. You know what this is?
It's a magic meter.
Sort of. It
You
can
detects
trademark
surges in
that.
magic. Whenever magic happens, this thing goes whip 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 like it is right now.
And it's just
Can I lean over to Ven and be like, "Do you want to tell him or should I?"
Tell him what?
And this started 2 days ago.
with
That
the
we were the
city
ones who did this.
place.
He should know that.
No one fucking knows that.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
the only ones who know about
Yeah.
the leave.
The prince
He
is
didn't
right
tell
up
anybody.
there.
Now you know he didn't fucking tell anybody.
Oh well, if he didn't tell anybody, I'm not going to tell
So
anybody.
this is fucking wild. But look at this.
Alright.
And then he like points to like this thing is like also like drawing on a map and doing like little like boop. It's like hitting like a quill's like hitting parts of this world map. He's like every time one of these surges happens, this quill puts a fucking dot on the map. And look, and he points to Remnant in the Olmor Fen, and there's just like 65 dots in one centralized location. Right? That's where it happened, I think.
Yeah, you think? It's very interesting.
I know.
A lot of data points. You should send someone to look into that.
You're being real fishy.
I mean, I'm not a
Listen.
professionally trained
Yeah.
magician. I don't know what all
Not a
this
fucking
does.
magician.
We're adventurers. We're kind of fishing for a job. So if you want us to go do it,
Oh, go to
look
Wayfarer's
into it
Guild. They
and
got
we'll
jobs.
look
I
into
don't
it.
have jobs. I just want company.
That's
Unless someone wants to go inside the terrarium that I've now called this device.
You know what? I'm on a roll right now, so I might as well just try
Guidance
it out.
on Flitz
Okay,
as
so
he
he
goes
opens
in.
the little door he made, and it says no admittance. And opens it.
Oh, great.
Love it.
You said you're training
Flitz
magic.
is
You
going
should
to
be
put-
safe. You should be.
Flitz
you
is going to
should be
put
safe.
the bottle on the opposite side. The other side, he's going to put it down. He's not going to bring it with him
Okay.
because as a bonus action, I can just bamf right back into it.
Okay.
Maybe.
Quoin's gonna stand next to the bottle to make sure it doesn't like get knocked over. or
Okay, cool.
anything.
So Flitz, you're stepping into the terrarium.
Deep
Just
breath. Yeah, a deep. Yeah, it was a deep breath, and yeah, Flitz will step in.
Okay. You all watch as Flitz is atomized.
Oh my god,
Huh?
Flitz,
my name is Adam now.
you don't feel yourself explode into millions of pieces, but you're standing in the middle of a forest of like colorful blue trees, and you're standing in a clearing of like 6 foot tall grass.
So hella taller than me.
Yeah. And you can just hear giggling everywhere, like just all throughout the fucking grass.
Okay, bonus action. I'm going to elemental gift, and I'm going to fly up
Okay, you fly up.
over the grass at least.
Okay.
like 15 feet.
There's like 65 like weird looking goblins just standing in the grass, staring up at you.
Oh my god. Okay.
They're all wearing like leathers made from animal hide, and they're all holding like slingshots. They're just like this up at you.
I would advise against that.
Yeah, advises against it.
Mm-hmm. Please. Where am I?
Feywild.
Lovely. Is there a way out of this place?
Fuck you.
What if I give you some
Okay.
coin? Okay. I didn't say how much coin I was going to give you.
The
All right.
butterfly wings burst gruesomely out of all the backs of these goblins, and they float up to like get in your face. Okay. You give gift.
One for each.
Okay.
Just show me where it is, and then you get your gift.
Show you where what is.
The way out.
Oh. I don't know.
A way out. Oh, bless.
Do you like parties?
No.
You want to come to one? They might help you.
No.
They might help you find a way out.
I don't think it will.
No, trust
I'm
us.
kind of stressing now.
No,
Oh,
trust
God.
us.
Okay.
Come this way. Can you fly?
Yes, I'm clearly yes. I can fly.
No, we thought it was gas. Okay, this way.
Nope.
And they just
Get
book it to the north, flying.
I'm with them.
Okay. After like 5 minutes, you get taken to this like massive lake with an island in the center. And built into the center of the island is this massive building shaped like a butt. And the door is
Lovely.
where is like right in between the
Oh my
cracks.
god.
Over
Of
here.
course. Fucking goblins. All right. All right.
Call it the
I'll
butt
fly.
hut. This way.
Well, that's very fitting. I will fly with them.
Okay. They crawl in through the hole. Come on.
Okay. Going with them.
Okay. It really stinks in here. And you can see there's just like dead animals just hanging from the ceiling, like squirrels and stuff. Like, that's
Okay.
food. Don't worry about it. What's your name?
Flitz.
I'm Mup.
Mup.
Yep.
Right. Nice
What's
to
your
meet
name?
you. Flitz.
I'm Sup.
I don't want. Okay,
What's your name?
introductions From, okay, I'm not doing this. Flitz is what my name is. It is lovely to meet you.
Okay. And they
Goblin
write Flitz
people.
on a wall. It's got a bunch of names under it, just random names. Just writes Flitz under it, and above it says friends. Okay. Cool. Why are you here? Why are you in
Well,
the Feywild?
I didn't want to be in the Feywild.
Why not? You got a problem with the Feywild?
Nope. I actually don't know much about the Feywild.
Wanna get cut?
No, I do not. I want to get out.
I think your face would look nice on a mask.
Well, you wrote my name under friend.
Yeah, do you know what friend means in this group?
No, and I don't want to find out.
Okay.
Okay.
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Really?
We're not going to judge people for their favorite
What's your
colors,
favorite
okay?
food?
Oh gosh. I don't know. I don't have a favorite food. Vegetables? I know. Crazy.
Do you want some vegetables to take home with you?
You have a way of me getting home? Yes.
No.
No, I cannot have the vegetables, or no, you don't have a way for me to get home.
I don't know.
I'm so confused right now.
Me too.
All right. Let's just get some vegetables,
Oh, you should have
And
said
we-
so.
and we'll find me a way home. Yes.
Okay. You'll have to talk to our friend.
Can it be quick? My friends are waiting on me.
Depends
and I
how
think...
they feel.
Okay. Well, let's make it quick, if we can. Please.
Up to you.
Yes.
Okay, come with us, please.
All right.
We have to leave the butt hut. We just need
Sure.
to add your name to the list of friends. Oh, you said your name's Flitz, right?
Yes.
Okay. We now have a bond together.
All right.
We can contact you from this plane whenever we want now.
All right.
Here. And they give you like a necklace.
Thank
And it's
you.
just covered in like ears and toes and fingernails. Keep that. As a token of our friendship. We'll know if you take it off. Okay, Flitz, this way, and they fly out of the butthole again.
Oh, he'll fly with them.
Okay. They sail through the air.
What is going on?
After another 5 minutes. Actually, more like 5 hours.
Oh, well then I'm not flying.
We're gonna see how it's... No. For some reason, you still are.
Perfect.
And, they fly through this forest, and...
Oh, 5 hours.
For everybody else, fucking like a second has passed.
Oh my God.
And Flitz, you get brought to this castle in the middle of the fucking this region. It's surrounded by like vegetation
Labyrinth?
and stuff.
Oh.
It's kind of like, sort of. We'll see. And you get brought to the front door of this castle. There's like a lush garden. There's a statue of a woman in the garden, but you don't recognize who it is. Just a woman, like a human woman. And one of the goblins goes poof, 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 on the door. We brought a friend and they didn't want to go home. They weren't doing our pranks with us.
Sorry. My apologies.
Shut up. Hey! We brought one.
Enter.
Okay. They open the door. What would the inside of the Rose Court look like now?
To those that don't get the whimsy, it would look kind of haunting.
Excellent.
It's like skins, just skins of things hanging up on all over the place. It's almost like, so you know how Gaston has like a wall full of like mounted heads and stuff. Just multiply that by like 100 and just have it everywhere. And like just furs and like of course it's all of like these Feywild creatures and stuff.
Noose.
I use antlers in all of my
this
deck.
gnome who is coming to meet you with your new friends smells of an old friend of yours. You catch little hints of Ogden Boone.
All right. Who brought him here?
He sort of just appeared near the butt hut.
Oh, so it was you brought him here.
Yeah, he appeared near the butt hut. Didn't want to be friend. He was really mean. And then we gave him the friendship necklace, as you can see.
Right.
And
so why haven't we taken his skin and adorned it all?
Oh right, and they all pull out knives.
Wait. Let's not do that. Not take skins. That's not. Is that something you
Can we
do?
have a toenail?
Oh yeah, we totally do that. It's kind of standard fare here. Just well, first you're much too small. We gotta fatten you up first. So come on, bring it in.
Okay. You watch as like more. I can't. What kind of fey creatures would serve Noose at the Rose Court? Actually.
The Boggles, right?
Excellent.
Or not the...
That's right. It would be the Boggles. Yeah. Okay. You see, which are now a playable race in the next campaign. You watch as all these small, like 1 foot tall, black, oily little fey creatures with pointed ears and just pure white eyes walk up, and they're carrying like platters of just weird animals and vegetables. Not maybe not vegetables. But like weird animal parts. He's like, who is that?
Me, I'm Flitz. I don't know what's going on.
All right, everyone, weave us.
Okay. And all the Boggles just sort of like teleport like the cracks in like various spots of the room and like kind of crawl behind tables, like and behind paintings and stuff. And the goblins go, do we have to leave too?
Yes, everyone, weave.
Back
It's
to
fine.
the butt hut.
Back to the butt hut.
Flitz, wear your necklace. We'll know.
All right.
Okay, bye. And they all like walk out the door and fly away, just leaving you in this. How would you like to describe what Noose looks like now? Actually,
For
specifically
some
for
reason,
Lex, because Lex hasn't really.
Okay, this is a goblin with like a plume coming like so he's got these big floppy ears, like bigger than normal for a goblin. His eyes are bigger than normal for a goblin. But the hair coming off of his ears comes off in like plumes in like very colorful like fey like what's the word I'm looking for when the like
Others?
no the like the Easter colors, pastels.
Pastel.
Yeah, okay.
So it's very pastel like
Uh-huh.
colors coming off of his ears and stuff, and it's a lot bigger than you'd think a goblin would be, just super big. And then as he gets closer to you and he starts going you see his feet kind of slapping against the stone thing. He starts to shrink in size, and he gets up very uncomfortably close, practically in your lap, just like, you gonna eat up or what? Practically right in your ear, whispering.
Does New still have his like goat-like eyes?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh, I forgot to mention that he's
Oh
got
my
got like
God.
goat eyes.
Oh like that. Sorry, I didn't catch that. What did you say? Do I have what?
You gonna eat up or what?
You is
You
this
gonna
only
insult
meat?
me like this?
I'm not going to eat meat. Sorry,
Why not?
because I can speak with animals, and it makes me very uncomfortable to eat them, knowing that I can talk to them. I know. I get that a lot, actually. It's very dramatic
Why do you have to remind me?
that they talk.
Nothing. You got a smell. It's fine.
What, I smell? Okay,
Yep.
I'm not even questioning that.
Nope. You gotta. It's a thing. All right. Where is he?
Who?
Nope. Where is he?
I don't know who you're talking about.
The boon.
The Boon?
The boon.
I don't know who that is. Flitz honor.
All right. I know you've seen
Yeah,
him. I can
right now
smell him.
your passive insight's probably like 30.
I can smell him on you. Yeah. He's Noose is having fun.
I don't. Yes, but I don't know what that means. I don't. I'll name the people that I do know that I've been in close contact with. Quoin, Vin, Kinna, Dax, Druk.
Bunch of nobodies. You're nothing.
Well, they're
Bunch of
not
nobodies.
nobodies.
Yep. They ain't done nothing. Haven't heard of them.
Well, that's because you're in the Feywild, so you probably wouldn't hear of them.
Where are you from?
Anundiel?
Oh, see, the Bone Ogden. He's always like bouncing around places, so I figured you were just here, and you saw him. I thought he might have been in the area. Dang it! It's very lonely here. You know.
You have friends,
Why
though.
haven't you eaten yet? That's why you
I don't eat that. No.
Oh,
You can see one of like the pieces of meat is still like moving. It looks like a turkey leg, but it's crawling around like a spider.
bad.
Stop moving.
I'll bet.
It's like kind of cries a little bit. Wait, I just have a quick question.
Yeah.
Do you have a way out of here?
Oh yeah, we got plenty of ways out of here.
I just need one that can take me back to where I came.
Well, I guess we'll have to make an arrangement then.
But I have an arrangement with his necklace.
You'll have to give me more information about where you've been and what's been going on.
Could you
Because
just
I smell Boone on you.
could you just add to the little necklace, and you could contact me at any time that you want, apparently.
Oh no.
And whatever information you want, you can
Oh no.
hit me up.
Oh no. Oh,
Yes.
No. Oh
And then
no.
he casts plane shift on you.
Okay. Are you? are you gonna let him remember his time in the Feywild or no? Like, there's a if not, he has to make a save.
Yes, he
Okay.
wants him to remember because he wants to know more information. He needs a tether. So far, he hasn't really found a
True.
tether to
Okay, cool.
to the prime
Good to know.
material, and this being is like the first one he's
Okay.
met in
Okay.
quite a while.
Good to know. Flitz, roll me a d20. There's a flat d20. I want to see how much time would have passed if you would have been there for a day or more.
That's a natural 20.
That would have been years. Okay, cool.
Flitz jumps ahead.
Yeah, you would have.
So
It
we
would have.
pick
That
up
could have. That
mid-campaign
could have
3.
been like Flitz is just appears and everyone's gone.
What year is it?
Flitz.
By
In
like
reverse.
six with us.
Flitz, you appear 6 hours later. For everybody else, it's been like 2 seconds.
Oh, so like
Oh, Flitz, you're back.
Flitz looks significantly like a little worn out.
You
don't do that.
okay?
Don't
man?
go in there. Don't go in there. It's not good.
What'd you
It's not
see?
good at all. The Feywild.
Oh, fucking
Oh, dear.
cool.
So maybe
Closes the door
just-
and locks it.
Yeah, just
So
keep
it made
that,
a fey. It made a fey crossing. That's really fucking cool.
Yeah, maybe just keep that close.
Did
for
you
a
meet any
little bit.
like archfey?
I don't know if it was an archfey, but I met this
The fuck's that
goblin.
necklace?
Interesting story.
And that's what we're in the session for the week.
Interesting story.
Hey, Quoin releases his white knuckle like handle on his blade, like ready to like just put a blade.
Yeah,
in
everyone
this
sees
guy's throat
Flitz
and be
get
like, "Where the
atomized, and
fuck?"
2 seconds later walks out of the terrarium.
Oh, okay.
Looking terrible
And-
and scared.
And yeah, Flitz, you just had 6 hours go by.
So I'm 6 hours older than everybody now.
Yeah, and I'm gonna homebrew a
Nice.
magic item for you now.
Ooh.
Oh, a necklace.
And you got to meet another player character from last campaign.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who definitely had a interesting outcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I could tell.
we're gonna, and that means the party may get.
Hey, trickster clerics, dude.
This is based
I
now.
was literally
player.
thinking
This
about
just
the news,
became,
a
like-
few days ago.
This just became the part in Critical Role where the traveler starts fucking with the party, and now there's a way for an archfey to fuck with this party, and I'm so here for it. So that's where we'll pick up next. That's where we'll pick up next week. Good night, everybody.
Good night.